The Sears diehard starting lineup for the Cincinnati Reds will have Chris Sabo leading it off. He'll be at third base. Billy Hatcher starts with Davis out in center field batting second. Barry Larkin, the league's leading hitter, the shortstop, bats third. Todd Benzinger in the cleanup spot at first base. Paul O'Neill will be in right field. He'll hit fifth. Rolando Rooms in left field batting .400. He'll be followed by Joe Oliver doing the catching. Mariano Duncan in the number 8 spot at second base. And on the mound, 36-year-old right-hander Rick Mahler. Let's take a look at the defensive alignment for tonight's game. Vaughn Hayes will be playing in right field. Lenny Dykstra, the regular center fielder now for the Phillies. John Kruk will be in left field tonight. Charlie Hayes, they found a third baseman. Dickie Thorne, one of the great comeback stories in baseball, at short. Tommy Herr at second base. Ricky Jordan will play at first base. Darren Dalton will be doing the catching, and his battery mate tonight, 26-year-old left-hander Bruce Ruffin.
Born in Lubbock, Texas, and honed at the University of Texas baseball program, Bruce Ruffin's had a nice start this year. The one-loss situation could be a lot better if they'd gotten him any runs. He got 1 run his first start, no runs his third start. Bruce Ruffin is a sinker ball, fastball, changeup pitcher, mostly sinkers. If the ball's in the air a lot, that's bad news for Bruce Ruffin. When he's on, he gets a lot of grounders. This is a guy who went through hell literally at the end of '88 and early '89 because he simply could not throw strikes. Drifted back to the minor leagues, worked with minor league pitching coach George Culver. He's back, he's refound the strike zone, and Bruce Ruffin's a good pitcher when he throws strikes.
And he'll need to be tonight as he faces well, actually baseball, not only the league's leading hitting team, but all of baseball's leading hitting team at .314 Cincinnati. Sabo to short, underneath the glove of Dickie Thorne, played by Dykstra, and that'll be a leadoff single. Chris Sabo batting .367. Coming into tonight's game, goes after the first pitch off the left-hander Ruffin, just out of the reach of Thorne, and is on with a base hit.
The Reds do go up there hacking, and Spuds Sabo gets this ball under the glove of Thorne. Bet you Dickie Thorne's saying to himself right now, I should have made that play.
Yeah,
hard hit, but
you know, that's one of those on a first ball of a ball game. Sometimes you're back on your heels in the field a bit and just not ready to play it. Billy Hatcher lets it be known he may try and bunt to move him up. Hatcher starting in center field with Eric Davis out of there, and there is an update, by the way, on Eric Davis, examined by the team doctor. He's got an isolated right medial collateral ligament sprain. That's
He's got a bad knee, right?
He's got a bad knee, and Lou Piniella doesn't like it. Line to short, got 2, Thorne to first, yes. Ricky Jordan, a nice pick, and Sabo is gone. This game's going to happen in a hurry. 2 down after a leadoff single.
Somebody double parked here? The Reds have gone up just banging away at Ruffin. Nice play here. Thorne, who didn't get the first one, nicely done there. That's a lot tougher play than you think it is, because you ask baseball players into a man, they'll tell you the hardest ball is the line drive hit right at you. Either side, you get a read on the ball, and that's a nice play by Jordan, because that ball short-hopped him at first base.
Good pick at first by Jordan. 2 away, Ruffin with the bases empty, but they're tagging him. And here's the league's leading hitter. Barry Larkin is off to a magnificent start, as you can see with those numbers. For Larkin, leading, of course, not only the league and the Reds, the world right now in hitting early on. He was jammed to right center field. Dykstra moving over. Called off by Hayes. He'll make the catch. An unusual first inning for Ruffin, and one he'll take. He gives up a lot of first inning runs, but not here tonight. They'll be back. Phillies coming up.
Life's full of simple pleasures, like the comfort of Levi's jeans. Or had you forgotten?
The real test of a power mower is starting it easily on the first pull. That's why Sears is putting 100 Craftsman Eager One mowers on the line. Look at that. 99 first pull starts out of 100. No wonder there are more Craftsmen on the job than any other brand.
And now through Saturday during Sears Show and Sale, this 3.5 horsepower Craftsman lawnmower is only $199. So don't miss it.
Our Sears diehard starting lineup for the Philadelphia Phillies tonight. Lenny Dykstra will lead it off in center field. Tommy Hurd, second base, batting second. Left-handed hitter Vaughn Hayes in right field will bat third. Ricky Jordan at the cleanup spot, first base. John Kruk, the former Padre, will be in left field. He'll bat fifth. Dickie Thorne at shortstop, batting sixth. Darren Dalton will do the catching. He'll bat seventh. Charlie Hayes at third base, hitting eighth. And on the mound, the 26-year-old left-hander, Bruce Ruffin. And the defensive alignment will look like this for the Reds. Paul O'Neill will be in right field. Billy Hatcher in center. Ronaldo Romes is playing in left. Chris Sabo at third. Barry Larkin, the shortstop. Mariano Duncan will be at second base. Todd Benzinger at first. The young man who can catch, Joe Oliver, and his battery mate, 36-year-old right-hander Rick Mailer.
Like Bruce Ruffin, Rick Mailer is a Texan, born in Austin, Texas, spent 10 years with the Atlanta Braves. He's now 36 years old. If it can be thrown, he throws it. Fastball, curveball, changeup, forkball, slider, whatever it takes, he'll throw it up there. 4 of the last 5 years, he's surrendered the most hits of any pitcher in the National League. He will not dazzle you, but he's wonderful for stabs. He gives loads of innings every year.
And he's facing Lenny Dykstra to start it out, and it's taken down low for a ball. Mailer hit hard by left-handers last season. Lenny Dykstra, a left-handed batter and one of many in the lineup for the Philadelphia Phillies tonight, is Nick Lavia, the skipper of the Phils. Goes by the computer numbers as well. Sabo's in at third. Dykstra will try and bunt to get on. He takes that one for the strike. You see Sabo's moved in at third base a bit and at first. Benzinger also even with the bag, jockeying back and forth on Dykstra, who takes a look at first and third. And he's hit safely in the last 4 games with that 400 average. Towards second. Off the carpet, Duncan. One away. Yes, this is the artificial carpet, so the infielders will do a lot of that, have those balls jumping up to the midsections.
Nice play by Duncan. And here comes one of the better kept secrets in baseball. This has been a pro for a long time, hasn't it, Gary? Tom Hurd.
Tommy Hurd, an outstanding leader, was with the Cardinals. One of the reasons that a lot of people in baseball were surprised when the Cardinals let him go in a deal was the fact so much leadership was taken out of the clubhouse.
Well, remember, that's when they thought Jose Alicia would come on and take over second base for them, and little did they know it'd be Jose Oquendo that would eventually move into that spot.
Talk about a pro's pro. Jose Oquendo has got that title. One away, bases empty, bottom of the first. The off-speed pitch by Mailer. Called the strike. Tom Hallion behind the plate. The king himself, Doug Harvey, at first base. Jerry Crawford at second. Dana Dubuque at third, the umpiring crew for tonight's game. Thunder showers went through here earlier today, ended about 2. You couldn't ask for a nicer night for baseball, what we got here tonight. Up high, Herb trying to work the walk if he can get it.
You know, in the midst of horrible seasons like the Phillies have had recently, 96 losses, 95 losses, a season like hers last year goes almost unnoticed. Only 7 errors. And 287 average, 13th best in the league.
And not many people would have known that. There's the man who had a long talk with Lou Piniella, the skipper of Cincinnati. That's Eric Davis. Why? Last night's game, when he sprained that knee, as he points to it, was in the 2nd inning. The club was down 2-0. He was trying to steal third base.
With 2 outs.
Foul back. Lou Piniella said before the game, I was talking with him. I said, did you ever talk with him? Piniella said, you're D-right, I did. And he says, if it keeps going, I'm going to have some paychecks. He was not happy with the club's performance last night. They had a couple of guys picked off. They made some base running mistakes. And they, to their credit, though, it played, he said, 10 perfect games as part of that 9-0 start.
Well, sometimes when you play well like the Reds have, and then you lose a couple of games, you tend to say, oh, don't worry, we'll come out of it. And that's when a manager's got to crack the whip a little. He's got to remind you, hey, that 9-game winning streak's history, pal. Don't start giving it back now.
Yep. Keep your head in the game. Mailer has a 3-2 count with 1 away. Tommy Hurd. Another chance for Duncan. 2 away. 2 down, nobody on. Hayes coming up. We're going to John Saunders.
Well, Gary, at Shea Stadium, the Braves and the Mets against David Cone. 3 straight hits, including this one on the curveball by Lonnie Smith. It brings in Odobe McDowell. 1-0. The Braves take the lead. That's where it stands in the first. Back to Gary and Norm.
With 2 down and the base is empty, Vaughn Hayes. And he takes the pitch down low. And yet another left-hander. You've got Dykstra, the left-hander, Kerr, the switch hitter, batting left, and Hayes, the left-hander, the top 3. Big numbers for a guy who can hit the ball. He's got power. Used to play first base. He's moved into the outfield. And this is down low, 1-1.
Not a day went by this spring without Von Hayes' name popping up somewhere in a rumor. The hottest was Von Hayes to California in a deal involving Devon White and Kurt McCaskill. But that's apparently dead.
He's a valuable ball player.
Well, you know, they were going to make that trade because they needed a starting pitcher, McCaskill. They felt desperate here in Philadelphia. Now they realize this isn't a bad staff, number 1, and the kids they got in the minors, the strength is in starters.
Right off the end of the bat to third. Sable's going to have to hurry. Sidearms it. Good play. Got it there. That was the old knuckler. And that'll do it. A 1-2-3 inning by Mailer. We've completed 1 at the vet in Philadelphia. No score.
He used to have trouble falling asleep. Then she fell into his life.
I'm one of the bad guys.
Now he's having trouble staying alive. Jeff Goldblum. Michelle Pfeiffer.
I was his mistress.
A very dangerous romance.
Now what?
Into the night.
Wednesday night at 8 on Fox 35.
Think you've seen the ultimate Pizza Hut pan pizza?
You ain't seen nothing yet. But baby, you just ain't seen nothing yet.
The new Grand Pan Pizza from Pizza Hut. The ultimate pan pizza with not 8, not 9, but 10 great toppings. Now get 1 Grand Pan Pizza for only $9.99 and a second for just $4 more. But hurry, it's a limited time offer.
You don't have to ride a burro to park Pontiac GMC truck anymore. Because Highway 281 is back. Whoever stole it returned it, and it's all new. So now you can zip right up to our front door to our grand reopening sale and see 4 floors of Pontiacs and GMC trucks at the lowest prices anywhere. Because we won't be undersold. We're at Loop 1604 and the all-new Highway 281. So come out to the Auto Mall anywhere you can to our grand reopening sale with clearance prices, and you might be surprised at what we will take for a trade-in.
No score as we go to the second inning in Philadelphia. The ballpark that looks like this as far as the dimensions are concerned. And it is one of those cookie-cutter ballparks, 330 down each line. A lot of room in the outfield. Big gaps, 371. Made so because of that 408 to straightaway center. 128 home runs hit here last season, the 4th most at a National League park. You see that black tarp out there as the pitch is delivered in the outfield. It's a good batter's eye park. Most of the hitters say that black tarp that goes all the way around in the outfield gives the batters a good view of that white baseball. The pitcher's arm comes right out of it. Todd Benzinger takes the second pitch inside. 2 balls and no strikes.
Benzinger missed a good portion of spring training. He injured a hand when he was taking batting practice during the lockout, and a pitch got away from the pitching machine. Hit him on the hand. I have only one question here.
You got to watch out for batting machines that can hurt you. Benzinger mighty lucky after the injury that he suffered in spring training that he was able to come right back and play, and so are the Cincinnati Reds. And this guy also is a good hitter. Takes that one down low and draws a walk on 4 pitches.
One question about that pitching machine. After you get hit by it, do you charge the pitching machine?
Not a good idea.
Not a good idea.
No. That's like jamming one of those water coolers with your fist routine. That generally has a negative adverse impact. Second base runner for Cincinnati. They had the leadoff man on Sabo single in the first. Now the walk given up by the left-hander Ruffin, and here's Paul O'Neill. Takes the pitch inside, and Ruffin's lost the strike zone. That's 5 straight, and that will bring Darren Dalton out to have a word.
Well, whenever you see this, the memories go back to the Bruce Ruffin of 1988. Here was a young man, 24 years old, seeming just about to arrive in the big leagues. And Gary, you saw him. He lost it. The last 48 innings of the year in 88, 46 innings of the year, he walked 48 through 9 wild pitches. He didn't know where the strike zone was.
He does have that mental block problem that'll come on you all of a sudden for no particular reason, and that's when you're going to take, and that's exactly what's happening right here. That's 6 in a row he's missed, and it's 2-0 on O'Neill.
Well, he went to the instructional league that year, didn't find it, went to spring training in '89, suffered the ignominy of wild pitching 4 runners around the bases in one spring game.
Got one.
Started '89 here, still couldn't find it, shuffled back to the minor leagues. In his first 2 starts there, in 7 innings, 7 wild pitches, 11 walks, and a hit batter. He had lost it.
And he's getting it in. He's found it again, 2 in a row in the strike zone, and he evens the count up on O'Neill. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Reds, who like to run, have been very successful at it thus far. And you can see Benzinger taking a long look over. Third base coach Sam Perlazzo of the Cincinnati Reds giving the signs at third. Got him. Great breaking ball. That was a medium speed bender by Ruffin, who gets his first strikeout. 1 away.
Ruffin is not a speedball. Back at the University of Texas, he used to get into the low 90s. Right now, if he gets it high 80s, it's his best pitch. But what he does have now that he never had as a collegiate is a lot of movement on the ball. Good sinker slider pitcher, and when he's right, he's tough.
Rolando Rooms takes the pitch up high. Runner at first base, and 1 out. No score, top of the 2nd inning.
Here's the man who last year suffered the ignominy of having more strikeouts than hits.
Oh. 5th game that he has been in with that 400 average. He has struck out a couple of times, has not drawn a walk. But Rooms getting some hits. He's had an RBI in just 5 at-bats in the 4 games, so he's had a limited time.
Well, the book on him is make him bite on the breaking ball because he's death on fastballs.
And fouls off the fastball up high. That's a mistake that Ruffin gets away with right there. 2-1.
Yeah, Ruffin doesn't have enough heat to get away with high fastballs generally. His stuff's got to be down in the strike zone. It's got to be moving. When Bruce Ruffin's up, he's in trouble generally.
Ruffin has walked 5 in the previous 3 games he's appeared in with his 1-1 record, 5 walks and 8 strikeouts. You see Dalton try to pull that one in. Did not get home plate umpire Tom Hallion to go with it. And it's 3-1.
You know, when he got back to Scranton last year and got reunited with George Culver, they started all over. They went back to the basics, literally breaking down his windup and throwing him, showing him where his release point was.
Breaking ball again, and it's in there for a strike. He painted the corner with that one. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 1 away. Benzinger still on at first base after drawing the leadoff walk. Benzinger has not attempted to steal any bases for Cincinnati this season. Eric Davis picked up 5, so is Hatcher. To third. Bobble. Hayes has got to go to first, and he better hurry. He didn't get him. That'll be an error on Charlie Hayes at third. Benzinger goes to second, and a tailor-made double play ground ball ends up with 2 on and 1 out.
Well, the Reds couldn't start Benzinger because Room strikes out so much. Hayes loses the double play there and then loses it entirely here. This is something the Phillies are worried about. Charlie Hayes made 22 errors in half a season last year and has 3 in 15 games this year. That projects to over 30 for a full season. That's not good.
Not what they want at third base. Now 2 on and 1 away. Infield will play for 2 as Oliver takes the pitch down low. There you see the infield alignment. Here is an exciting young catcher. Joe Oliver, you talk to everybody around the Cincinnati clubhouse, and you talk to people around the Philadelphia clubhouse, say this kid has got a real live arm. He can really throw the baseball from behind the plate. Makes a pretty good cut right there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Catchers are such a valuable commodity in today's game. It is so difficult to find guys who can play the position completely. Nick Leyva, the coach, the skipper of the Phillies. See the numbers that he's had with a team that's been dead last for a couple of years. They're 8-6 right now. Stays off the pitch away. 2-1. Ruffin tried to get him to bite on another high fastball.
One other plus of Oliver is most of the folks feel that as Joe Oliver grows up as a player, he's going to hit with power. He didn't show it in the minor leagues, 7, 8, 10 homers a year down there. I feel he's going to be a pretty decent power hitter in the big leagues.
Just missed. Ruffin was real close and wanted that one and does not get it, and he's working from behind the hitters. 3-1 with 1 out and 2 on. No score in the second. But Cincinnati threatening here as they try and come back, get out of a 2-game losing streak after the 6-3 loss last night.
Fourth straight man this inning. Ruffin's been behind in the count.
3-1. Runners go. Popped him up. Second base.
Infield fly rule call.
Tommy Herr's got it. Oliver's retired. A big out for Ruffin. Now 2 away with runners on at first and second. And Ruffin battled back to get Oliver. Now he'll face Mariano Duncan. Duncan's off to an incredible start at the plate. Second best in the league with that .424 batting average. Who'd have thought?
Well, the bizarre thing is he's hitting with some power, too. You know, the Duncan should hit with average, I guess, is acceptable. He's never done it much in his career, but not for power at all.
Leading hitters right now. You mentioned Barry Larkin. He's up on top of everybody right there, and there's Duncan. Benito Santiago off to a great start. Cal Daniels and Brett Butler. Should also mention well, there are 3 of the top 10 because you also have Sabo's batting 7th in the league. 3 of the top 10 in the league are on this Cincinnati team.
Well, what's amazing about the Cincinnati bolt from the gate is they were getting almost nothing from Eric Davis, who's their prime player. And Davis just started showing signs of coming out of it. That's what's disturbing to the Reds about his injury.
Absolutely. And disturbing to the rest of the league when he gets back. 2 on, 2 down, and he helped him out. Mariano Duncan, who's known as a free swinger, helped out relatively wild Ruffin with that cut, 1 and 2.
Yeah, this pitch misses the strike zone by, maybe 2 feet.
He needed a lateral for that one. Lou Piniella not real happy about that. He's got 2 on, and Duncan swinging away at Ruffin, who's been wild. Duncan, by the way, is a .235 lifetime hitter. Got a hold of that one to deep left field, turning around, going back at the wall. Kruk looking up. Goodbye, home run. Mariano Duncan, a 3-run homer. And the Reds take a 3-0 lead.
All 3 will be unearned. But my goodness, the words were hardly out of our mouths about Duncan showing surprising power. Now, 12 games into this season, he's matched last year's home run total of 3.
Some magic being worked right here.
Oh, that ball had very little on it. Looked like sort of a round slider from Ruffin right at the belt and right in the middle of the plate. And you'll turn a lot of guys in this league into power hitters with pitches like that.
That's 11 RBIs for Mariano Duncan. He's smiling big time. Look out. Here's Mailer. Now, Rick Mailer stands in there. He's also smiling. Mariano Duncan has just given him a 3-0 lead. His 3rd home run. And Ruffin takes the strike, 1-1. He knew. He knew that was gone. That's the first home run he's given up this season. Grounded towards short. Mickey Thon makes the play over to Jordan, but the Reds jump out. Leadoff walk would score. Rooms, who reached on an error, would score. And Duncan got all the RBIs with a home run.
The sporty Suzuki Sidekick. Hard top and soft top. Tough 4x4s with features to make you comfortable, like fully carpeted interiors, reclining rear seats, and electronically adjustable mirrors. So what could we do to make the Sidekick more attractive? Offer dealer cash incentives, up to $2,500. But hurry, this deal won't be around for long. Call now for the Suzuki dealer nearest you.
Hey, good hustle, son. Way to go into the stands, babe.
Hey, you really killed yourself out there today, kid. You don't have to be a Major League ball player to need Major League pain relief. Ben Gay Sports Balm. Real relief for sore muscles.
The real test of a power mower is starting it easily on the first pull. That's why Sears is putting 100 Craftsman Eager One mowers on the line. Look at that. 99 first pull starts out of 100. No wonder there are more Craftsmen on the job than any other brand.
And now through Saturday during Sears Show and Sale, this 3.5 horsepower Craftsman lawnmower is only $199. So don't miss it.
For Lisa Vinichenko, this is a big day. A very big day.
Well, Kentucky Fried Chicken. You ought to try a whole meal.
She'll take it.
Today, Lisa Vinichenko is getting her first taste of America.
At Skydome in Toronto, is anyone hotter than Kelly Gruber? Steps up. He already has 6 home runs of the year. Goes to the opposite field against Kevin Burst. This is gone as well. Number 7 of the year. 23 home runs for the Blue Jays, leading the majors. They're up 2-1.
Boy, McGriff had one the other night. It was off the Hard Rock Cafe. 4 levels up in Toronto off that Hard Rock Cafe glass front. I heard somebody say it was such a good home run, he shouldn't have had to run it out. Just go back to the dugout. Phillies going to have to try and come from behind early in this one. He got jammed by Mailer. Easy play for Benzinger going over from first base. That'll take care of Ricky Jordan, the cleanup batter. One away in the second.
Like that ball that Denny McLain gave up to Mickey Mantle. A shot literally into the ionosphere. Mantle trots around the bases. McLain waits until the next batter steps in, and he signals to come out of the mound, and the umpire starts out. McLain meets him halfway and says, he still only gets 1 for that, right?
Yeah, that's all you get. You think you deserve more when you see it go that far. John Kruk taking the pitch down low. Former Padre has found a home in the outfield here with Nick Leva's team. He's playing very well. Against Mailer, lifetime 6 for 27 with a home run off him. Not this time. Mailer's got to hurry. Got to throw right into the runner. Good play both ways. That's not the shoulder he wanted to go over. He wanted to go over the left shoulder of Kruk. He put it on the right shoulder, which makes it a little tough to Benzinger, but he hauled it in at first.
Yeah, sometimes you have no choice of what you'd like to do. It's what you have to do. If Mailer tries to adjust to get a throwing angle here, there's a chance he doesn't get Kruk. Nicely done both sides of that one. And so far, there hasn't even been anything loud by the Phillies off Mailer.
That will bring up Dickie Thon. 2 down, bases empty. Mailer getting it done in a hurry. Dickie Thon, whose career looked as though it might have been over. And he was hit by a pitch a few years back. Had a lot of people worried and had Dickie Thon worried. He had to struggle through not only a very damaging eye injury, but Dickie Thon also had to struggle with the confidence to come back to play the game of baseball, to get back to the plate, and he's done it. Look what's happened since then. Mike Torres hit him. Torres is playing for the Mets. In fact, he was hit by a pitch on the 15th of this month to John Costello for the first time since May of '88. As that graphic showed you, only the second time since hit by Torres.
He had 15 homers last year. He had 11 the previous 5 years.
And Mailer misses outside on him, and the count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, bases empty. The Reds with a 3-0 lead. Dickie Thon has Darren Dalton waiting on deck if he can get on base. Full house pitch. Framed by Oliver, but it's not going to make any difference. Mailer's first walk of the season.
Dickie Thon not only waited for the call, he seemed to wait to see if umpire Hallion was going to reconsider.
All good catchers do that. Dickie Thon was not a good hitter in doing that, though. You want to get out of there as quick as you can.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I'm gone. I'm not talking to you. 2 down, Thon at first, and here's Darren Dalton. Dalton and Steve Lake will be sharing the catching duties. Both are strong-armed catchers. At the plate, that's a little different story.
Has Chris Berman nicknamed this guy yet? Royal? Like the China? Royal Dalton?
Haven't heard that.
No?
Are you trying to get in on
that?
what?
Just suggesting a couple for Chris in case he's watching, you know.
We'll jot these down and fax them out immediately. Dalton hit only .201 last season. And he fouls that one off, or did he? No, he never touched it. Going down to second, making the big turn, Dickie Thon. Oliver goes back to get it as Thon made sure Oliver had to go to work on it. And that'll put a runner in scoring position here with 2 down on a walk, and see if it's a wild pitch or pass ball.
This ball's catchable. Oh my goodness, yes. It's virtually right down the middle.
Pass ball. Now a runner in scoring position for Dalton. 1-1 count, 2 outs. Not hit hard. Duncan plenty of time. That'll do it. No runs, no hits. The base runner left on at second. We've completed 2 here in Philadelphia. The Reds up 3-zip.
The real test of a power mower is starting it easily on the first pull. That's why Sears is putting 100 Craftsman Eager One mowers on the line. Look at that. 99 first pull starts out of 100. No wonder there are more Craftsmen on the job than any other brand.
And now through Saturday during Sears Show and Sale, this 3.5 horsepower Craftsman lawnmower is only $199. So don't miss it.
Okay, Nolan. Put it in there.
Are you still throwing outside?
She's right. Try low and inside.
Feel the thrill again. Join us at the ballpark. The preceding message was furnished by Major League Baseball.
3-0 here, Cincinnati. Eric Davis out of the lineup. Norm, you had a chance to talk with Lou before the game.
Yeah, and Lou Piniella is obviously pretty worried about his star center fielder and cleanup hitter.
I'm concerned, Norm. I really am. The doctor from the Phillies just examined him, and he thinks that it'll be a week or 10 days before we can get him back out to play, and it really hurts our situation.
It's putting it mildly, huh?
Yes.
So Eric Davis out of there. How long, they don't know. They'll examine him again tomorrow. Bruce Ruffin goes to work. Top of the order again, Sabo, Hatcher, and Larkin.
I was about to say Davis is their only legitimate power hitter, but I completely disregarded Mariano Duncan.
Well, in other seasons, you would have been wholly justified in that. There you see how important he is to this team. Injury-filled season last year for Sabo and for the Reds. Cincinnati had 12 players on the DL. 2 of them went there twice. 7 of their starting 9 ended up on the disabled list.
A cat, that is C-A-T, cat, just sprinted down the right field line in foul territory and ran into the Phillies dugout.
That's the vet cat. That cat lives here. It's a normal occurrence. Cat lives here, stays here, has been here for years. Swung on a grounded foul, and on various occasions will come out from behind the outfield wall and make an appearance.
How disturbing to the Philly fanatic that the cat has drawn more interest in the first 2 innings plus tonight than the club mascot.
There was a famous, for those who follow This Week in Baseball, either on television or at the parks, there's our friend, David Raymond, the Philly fanatic. We'll see more of David tonight. Swung on, Sabo left field line, but it's a foul ball. The cat was picked up, was the one where a groundskeeper came out to get it one game, and the cat just clawed the groundskeeper to death. It has made every highlight film ever, and the groundskeeper couldn't let go of it. The cat had dug right in. It had a short-sleeve shirt on, dug into the groundskeeper's arms, and the cat wouldn't come off. Sabo to shallow left, and he was being played deep out there, and it'll be caught by Kruk, who's not noted as a great speedster. Sabo's gone, 1 away in the third. Let's check in our Baseball Tonight studios. John?
Well, Gary, the Angels and the Red Sox. Danny Heap at the plate takes this one out to right field. Bill Buckner was on first, decides to try to go to third. They get him easily there. No chance to score, and it's still scoreless in the third. Let's go back to Gary and Norm.
It's Roger Clemens, and pray for 4 days of rain. 4-0. 3-0 here. Cincinnati leading it, and that one Hatcher really reached for. One down, nobody on.
Besides the score, one other thing should concern Philly fans. You are not getting the ground balls you normally get off Bruce Ruffin. When he's not getting grounders, that means he doesn't have his good stuff.
Fastball inside, and when he's up, he'll be tagged for the long ball. Now, Ruffin only gave up 10 home runs all last season. He has given up the one here to Duncan, 3-run homer in the second, which is the first of the year off Ruffin. Hatcher acquired from Pittsburgh in a deal that took place on the 3rd of this month. Yes, 3rd of this month. It's still April. Billy Hatcher, lifetime, 263 hitter, has 30 Major League home runs. Been with Chicago and Houston, then Pittsburgh for part of last season, and now in a Cincinnati uniform. Perez at first base having to get out of the way of that one. Cincinnati Red at high. First base coach Tony Perez.
The one holdover between the staffs of Rose and Piniella.
2-2 the count. Boy, they tag and Ruffin. A lot of these are ending up in the seats, but they're getting around on him. He's not fooling anybody.
Billy Hatcher has one strange hitting style. He picks up the back foot and sort of throws himself into the strike zone.
Which is why they like to work him inside. Tend to get him on the handle and off balance.
This is not a guy who will be making a hitting video anytime soon, by the way.
Not one of Walt Reniak's clients right here. And he draws the walk.
Major mistake walking that guy.
We already told you he has 5 stolen bases. Second walk given up. And there's Hatcher on at first base with 1 away. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of Major League Baseball may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without sending huge amounts of cash to us or without the express written consent of Major League Baseball.
This Hatcher's a scooter. As a full-time player with the Astros in '87. 53 steals.
Got the Jets. Larkin. There you see what he did against left-handers. Big numbers for him against the lefties.
This was part of the injury barrage last year to the Reds. Just felt his arm pop at a skills competition at the All-Star game.
Ironically, you know, the big number he has against left-handers, but he's only hit 167 lifetime against Ruffin with a good number of at-bats. Runner at first, 3-0 Reds lead. Trying to add to it against Ruffin here in the third.
Larkin went on the disabled list last year, July 11th. That was part of a 28-day period in which the Reds put 6 star players on the DL in 28 days. Larkin, Sabo, O'Neill, Rijo, Danny Jackson, and Rob Dibble. In 28 days, they lost all 6 of them.
We talk about an injury-filled season. Right field, going the other way with it, Hayes. Runner will play it halfway. Ron Hayes puts it away, and Hatcher will go back to first base, and there are 2 down.
You know, the bizarre thing about the blight of injuries that hit the Reds last year, 14 times they placed players on the disabled list, 12 different players is. Injuries usually strike a broad range of your players. Not with the Reds. Injuries struck only the stars.
That's true.
Jackson, Rio, Larkin, Sabo, Davis, right down the list. Their best players got hurt.
So an interesting number today in one of the Philadelphia papers. Cincinnati subs had 43% of the playing time on the whole season. I mean, that is a phenomenal number. 43% of your days on the field being played by people who you wanted on the bench. It's one of the reasons Cincinnati had a long season. 2 down here. 1-0 count on Benzinger, the cleanup batter.
Well, and let's face it, with no knock on any particular player, there are reasons why guys spend time on the bench. And the reasons become evident when they spend a lot of time on the field.
That's generally true, isn't it? Todd Benzinger, a switch hitter. It's the left-hander's pitch outside.
And you know, they were playing well last year when they got hurt. Early June, mid-June, they were playing nicely. 10, 11 games above 500. Then they lost 31 of 41, mixing in, of course, the Pete Rose Ringling Brothers circus that played in Cincinnati for months last year.
It's not a comforting year for the Reds. Hope to reverse that. They're 2 games up in the division right now with that 9-2 early mark. Runner at first here with 2 out, a 3-1 count. Runner goes, hit and run was on. He tried to slam it to right. Couldn't get it between the white lines, though, and that'll send Hatcher back over to first base. Benzinger's batting .438 right and .250 left. He's had 1 home run. That's come off the right side of the plate where he is right now. So much bigger numbers batting right-handed than left-handed thus far this year.
If Benzinger gets a single here, the Phillies better hustle because Hatcher could come all the way from first.
Full count, he's running to short. That's a base hit. Played by Kruk, going over to third. Hatcher. Kruk's thrown to third base. Not in time. Good base running. Billy Hatcher was off on the 3-2 pitch with 2 down. Made it work as he gets the extra base, and Benzinger has been on twice with a walk and a single. The Reds trying to mount a 2-out rally, have him on at first and third base.
Kruk played this ball as well as he could play it, and the throw's on the money, but Hatcher just simply outruns the play here.
And he can do that. He's got a great set of wheels. This has been a struggle for Ruffin. Cincinnati already leading 3-0. That's the 3rd hit. All the runs unearned in the 2nd inning. Off-speed breaking ball right there. Strike 1.
Nicely done there.
Lefty against lefty right here. O'Neill hit only .178 against left-handers last year. And he gets that one into right center field. Hayes and Dykstra. Dykstra wants it in center. And that'll do it. So Ruffin gets out of the inning. No runs ahead. A couple are left on base, including 1 on at third. But it remains the Reds 3 and the Phillies nothing.
Welcome. This way. Beautiful thing.
Cool. Ed, look at this. What is it?
It says to get Genie Rub Light.
Rub light?
Rub Light.
It says to get Genie Bud Light.
The clean, fresh taste of Bud Light won't fill you up and never lets you down.
Okay, Ed, now you get a wish.
Bud Light, because everything else is just a light.
When trouble with your car has you feeling a little wobbly, hurry into your neighborhood Parts Plus Auto Parts store, because you can count on the pros at Parts Plus for the right parts the first time. And right now, you can enter to win the Parts Plus Repair America sweepstakes for one of 5 all-American family vacations to a great destination like Disneyland or Walt Disney World Resort. Car owners of all ages count on the pros at Parts Plus.
We're America's family auto parts store. We're Parts Plus.
Beautiful, peerless faucets are guaranteed for as long as you own your home. You see, they're backed by the Total Faucet and Finish warranty. It protects all the parts and the finish of your faucet, and no other faucet warranty can beat it. In other words, the Peerless Total Faucet and Finish warranty really holds water. Solid, dependable, peerless do-it-yourself faucets. They're backed well because they're built well.
Conditioning? Not a day of trouble ever.
Must be a good one.
Must be a Lennox.
Must be.
Lennox Heating and Air Conditioning. Since 1895. Must be a Lennox.
Attaboy, Dave.
ESPN Baseball Tonight, brought to you by Subaru. We built our reputation by building a better car. And by Franklin, the batting glove that's a hit with the best in baseball.
Charlie Hayes leading it off, batting 8th. Hayes, Ruffin, and the top of the order, Lenny Dykstra for the Phillies, trailing here 3-0. looking for his first hit against Rick Mailer. He's only faced him a couple times in his young career.
We gave you the bad news on Charlie Hayes when he made the error in the second inning. 22 errors in half the season last year. The good news, 43 runs batted in that half a season.
What big shoes to fill. Mike Schmidt is next door to us working television now for the Philadelphia Phillies, and forever will be mentioned when you talk about third baseman here in Philadelphia. And when you're coming right on the heels of Mike Schmidt, it is not an easy task to satisfy. Hayes' rookie season, he ended up with a .257 batting average, 43 RBIs, the 8 home runs. Hopes third base will be his, but as Norm said, the defense is questionable right now for Hayes. Mailer has reached for, has got a shot. Rooms coming, makes the catch. Ronaldo Rooms moving on to get that one away. Let's find out what's going on in the American League with John Saunders.
Thanks a lot, Gary. Milwaukee leads Kansas City 1-0. Seattle has taken a 2-1 lead over New York. Brumley with an RBI double, and Pascual Perez wild pitched in the second run. McGuire with an RBI single. Oakland leads Baltimore. Gruber has another home run for the Jays. Back to Gary and Norm.
Thank you, Guy. Bruce Ruffin, the pitcher.
You know, on behalf of the announcers of the world, I'm very sorry Seattle picked up Mike Brumley to go with Mickey Brantley and Scott Bradley.
Oh, come on. Gotta have some fun.
Jay Buhner's still there.
Ruffin to Rooms. 2 down.
I was doing an American League game a couple years ago when the Seattle Mariners started an outfield of Bradley, Brantley, and Bradley. Thanks.
Love this guy. Philly fanatic, 12 years on the job. That's David Raymond. His dad is Tubby Raymond, the football coach at Delaware.
The Blue Hen.
The best. This guy, the Philly fanatic, is the best. He puts on one great show. 2 down, bases empty, Lenny Dykstra. I love the press guide. The press guide under the Philly fanatic lists him as 300 pounds, mostly fat. Origin, unknown. Dykstra's not going to help me. Tops it, foul. He does help.
Plenty of time now.
Eyes, white eyeballs, black pupils, purple eyelashes, and blue eyebrows. Bright green fur for skin. Physical defects listed. Overweight, clumsy feet, extra long beak, curled up red tongue, gawking neck, slight case of body odor. I love it. David Raymond, you're great at what you do. He's booked solid throughout the year. Turns down about a 10-to-1 ratio of appearances. Lenny Dykstra, leadoff batter, 0 for 1. Takes Mailer's pitch up high.
Meanwhile, we're still waiting for the first real sound of ball hitting back Philadelphia against Mailer. Mailer has just cruised through the first 9.
He's 8-8 lifetime against Philadelphia. 9-13 last season for Rick Mailer.
I don't imagine it would be much consolation to tell the Phillies that the last 3 years, this league has hit 282 or 283 against Mailer every one of the 3 years, and he is regarded as one of the, if not the easiest pitcher in this league to hit.
Yep. Easier when you look at the numbers than when you stand in the box. Dykstra way out in front of that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes on it.
You know, though, Gary, guys like Rick Mailer don't get the respect they deserve. This is a guy who played for a very poor, generally Atlanta team while he was there, and he just goes out and gives you innings. At least 220 innings, 5 of the last 6 years. There are a lot of staffs in baseball would love to have a dependable starter like this just go out there every 6th or 5th, 4th day.
That's what they wanted. Fouled off again. That's what Cincinnati wanted, and that's what they got. But you do look at the numbers. Allows the most hits, 4th time in 5 years. That's not good.
No. But on the other side of the coin, he hardly walks anybody. About 2 walks a game.
He's not walked anybody in 10 innings thus far this season. Mailer to Dykstra. Had him up in front of it, popped him up, shallow center field. Larkin back. Hatcher and Rooms both coming in, but the shortstop. Larkin will put it away, and that's it. 3 up in the air, set the side down in order, and Mailer leaves with a 3-0 lead.
Honey, you know what I don't understand?
understand about El Pollo Loco?
I can't imagine.
Well, at those other chicken places, the front is in the front and the back's in the back.
Yeah?
Well, you know, they cook the chicken in the back and then they serve it in the front. But at El Pollo Loco, they serve it in the front and they cook it in the front.
Oh, right. Well, they charbroil the chicken right out front where you can see it.
Exactly. So if the front's in the front and the back's in the front, what's in the back?
El Pollo Loco, the fast food habit worth having.
There is no back.
Except in the front.
Right.
He used to have trouble falling asleep. Then she fell into his life.
I'm one of the bad guys.
Now he's having trouble staying alive. Jeff Goldblum. Michelle Pfeiffer.
I was his mistress.
A very dangerous romance.
Now what?
Into the night.
Wednesday night at 8 on Fox 35.
When we bought our new car, you asked me why we chose the Hyundai Sonata and North Park Hyundai as our dealer. Well, we made a comparison chart of the top-rated cars in the mid-price range. The Hyundai Sonata ranked #1, and it cost less than its competitors. We chose North Park Hyundai because they impressed us as fair and straightforward in their dealings, and they gave us the lowest price. We're very satisfied with both the Sonata and the sales and service at North Park Hyundai.
At Shea Stadium in New York, the Mets hosting the Atlanta Braves. The Braves have taken a 2-0 lead, but Kevin Elster takes care of that. Sends this one to the gap in right center field. It scores McReynolds and Magadan. Cone singled in another run, and the Mets took a 3-2 lead. That's the only game underway.
Ground ball, base hit. Ronaldo Rooms gets that one just out of the reach of Hayes. He's first ball hitting on Ruffin, and that's going to be hit number 4. They've had one per inning, almost.
Single Rooms.
Bad, but a good effort. Good effort, bad result.
Later on, maybe we'll get double rooms, eh?
How about if the bases are loaded? Ruffin waiting on Oliver. And that's outside for a ball. Big numbers for him against the left-hander. Checking with Sam Perlazzo at third here. Leadoff man on. Ruffin's just had to work under the worst conditions. Leadoff man's been on 3 of the 4 innings now. Wrapped foul. Just out in front of it.
You know, normally you'd say about a guy like Ruffin, you'd use the old cliche, he's dodging the raindrops. This guy's dodging thunderstorms. He's had a lot of balls hard hit. And the funny thing is, if Charlie Hayes had made the play on a ground ball to third, he wouldn't have any runs on the board against him right now.
No, that's what's really tough. 3 unearned runs. Scored in the second inning. 1 away, what should have been a double play. Rooms reached on the error. Hayes committed at third, and then an out later. Mariano Duncan delivered his 3rd home run of the season. First base, Rooms being held by Ricky Jordan. There he goes. Hit and run. Right field, Vaughn Hayes. Runner plays it halfway, 1 away on the fly ball out by Oliver.
You know, as Major League teams search for pitching, they can only drool at the staff that Bruce Ruffin was a part of at the University of Texas. He was on the College World Champion team in '83 and the runner-up for the College World Championship in '84 and '85. Check out this staff. Bruce Ruffin, Roger Clemens, Greg Swindell, Calvin Schiraldi, and current NL ERA leader Dennis Cook.
The best college staff there has ever been.
Wow. And then following right along after him, a kid named Mark Petkaizik, who's climbing the ladder in the Texas chain. What pitching Cliff Gustafson had there in the early and mid-'80s.
Incredible you'd have that grouping of players come together in one place. Mariano Duncan putting the big numbers up. 441 his average, 11 RBIs, including the 3 picked up on the home run in the second inning. 1 on for him here. Outside of first, and the count goes to 2 strikes with 1 out.
Let me ask you this, Gary. If you simply took those 5 people and gave them to one Major League team now, how many starting staffs would be better than Clemens, Swindell, Ruffin, Cook, and Schiraldi in the Major Leagues?
Maybe a couple, maybe.
Yeah, Oakland, Kansas City. But once you get past the Mets, once you get past the teams that are totally pitching rich.
And there aren't many.
Yes.
Ever. Good fastball, and he's out of there. Hallion yanking him with the arm. That's as hard as he's thrown a pitch. Ruffin on the inside corner, 2 down. Duncan takes the K.
The one thing that the Philly fans can take hope in the performance of Bruce Ruffin, and that the Reds should maybe be a little disturbed by, is Reds have had lots of big chances to get a lot of runs off Ruffin. They haven't so far. They're only up 3, and Ruffin is showing a little bit in the way of signs of settling into the game.
Rick Naylor with 2 down, and Rooms on at first. Popped him up again to shallow right. Hayes again looking for the second putout of the inning. No runs, a base hit, and a base runner left on. 3 stranded by Cincinnati so far, only 1 by the Phillies. Reds up 3-0.
For millions of Americans, mowing the lawn can be a real chore. Fortunately, Honda's created the new hydrostatic transmission lawnmower. The first mower that lets you choose whatever speed you need smoothly, no matter what you're cutting around. Look into the new hydrostatic transmission lawnmowers at your Honda dealer. They let you mow without the stop and go.
A lot of cars reach 60,000 miles, but only 3 have done it in just 19 days. And every one was a Subaru. The durable, reliable 4-wheel drive Subaru Legacy. At an average speed of 138 miles an hour, the Legacy hasn't just proven itself. It's taken less time to do it than any other car in the world.
Factory to dealer cash incentives on selected models make it a great time to come into your Subaru dealer.
BF Goodrich TA tires perform like great athletic shoes. They grab. They dig. They give you control. BF Goodrich TA tires, the athletic shoes for your car.
Get your free Baseball in the 80s video with 25 issues of the Sporting News for 3 payments of just $9.96. Save 46% off the cover price. Call now, 1-800-638-1200. That's 1-800-638-1200.
At Shea Stadium, the Mets and the Braves. The Mets had just taken the lead 3-2 in the second. David Cohn pitching to Lonnie Smith. Smith takes this one back out of there to even the score up at 3-3 in the third. Let's get it back to Gary and Norm.
Mets have an ERA as a team, 3.28 coming into the game. The New York Mets are batting .218. Only Atlanta has a lower batting average. Can you believe that? They're struggling at Shea Stadium. Strike called as we go to the Philadelphia half of the 4th inning. Tommy Hurd. The ground ball out his first time up. 306 average as he stands in right now. Not much difference which side to come from. Naylor. Trouble if it's fair. It is. It's trouble into the corner. And it'll be a ground rule double as it hops the short fence. Tommy Hurd leading off the 4th inning with the first hit off Rick Naylor, a bloop double.
Yeah, this isn't exactly a wall rattler that Hurd just got off. He sort of dunks this ball on the left field line, but it's a start for the Phillies, who haven't even nibbled on Naylor. They haven't forced him to throw a pitch under pressure in the first 3 innings of this game. Now, here's where Nick Leyba really believes in Herzog-type baseball. Move the runner.
Move the man off the plate. Naylor getting Vaughn Hayes off there. Ball 1. You want a bunt here?
No. Hayes is a good enough player, though, that Hayes knows he's got to pull this baseball.
It's pretty easy for him to do. He likes to pull the ball. Right up the middle. Got a shot at a base hit. Cut off by Duncan. Throw to first. Not in time. First and third. Nobody out. Phillies got it going in the 4th.
Again, not hard hit. A basic seeing eye ground ball that hops the pitcher.
Ricky Jordan. 9 hits in his last 20 at-bats. Jordan hitting at .283. Slow start for him, but he's really picked it up. Look at that wide stance. Strike on the outside corner. He's about as wide as you'll see anybody stand at the plate. He's got those feet, the back and the front. Watching when he steps in there. Not going to be much movement of the front foot. He'll be transferring weight just by going back and forth.
There can't. If he takes much of a stride forward, we're talking double hernia here. he's about as spread out as you can get at the plate.
Breaking ball away. No wonder he's got that guard on that front foot. He's got that foot so far out there when he drives those breaking balls down into the dirt with that leg way up in the front of the box. He's got to have some black and blues on that shin. That box is just barely big enough to hold this guy. Jordan. 1-1. Ladles open to center straight away. Hatcher. Mama, did that get there in a hurry. Tagging up at third base, coming on Tommy Hurd. RBI picked up by Jordan. It's a 3-1 game. Jordan's 9th run batted in.
It's a run for the Phillies, but it's bad luck for Ricky Jordan, who may not hit 5 balls this year harder than this one. This is a rope to center field. Mailer gets a nothing on it pitch up at the letters. Mailer really fortunate this ball didn't hit that black shower curtain out there.
That's one of those balls that was going up on Hatcher. It was still rising. Throw made to first base on Hayes back. So 1 away, a run in, 3-1 game, Cincinnati leading, and here's John Kruk. And Hayes being held with Benzinger taking the throws over there at first base. Hayes has picked up a stolen base. 1 for 3 thus far this season. Philadelphia 6 for 11.
This kid Joe Oliver's tough to run on, though. But a very good arm. Reds' opponents have been successful only 5 of 11 so far this year. And when on the other side of that sheet you show the Reds 24 for 28, it's obvious how important the running game's been to the Reds' streak.
That's how they develop it. Kruk reaching out, fouls that back, angry with himself. That was not in the strike zone. And it evens the count up at 1 ball, 1 strike.
Boy, if there was ever a guy happy to get out of a city, it was John Kruk last year. He'd fallen into disuse in San Diego. He was not hitting his weight. He was at 184, and he came here and did nothing but hit. He hit the ground hitting in Philadelphia last year. Hit .331 for the Phillies.
Pops that one up, left field line. Room's coming over. We'll have Room. And that'll be the second out, leaving Hayes on at first base. I remind you, tomorrow it's the Greater Atlanta Open. The ladies' professional bowling tour continues, 7:30 Eastern, followed by top-ranked boxing at 9 from Atlantic City, the IBF Junior welterweight title. Harold Brazier and Mickey Ward. That's tomorrow night, starts at 7:30 Eastern right here on ESPN. Gary Thorne and Norm Hitzges, good to have you with us. Vaughn Hayes at first. Cincinnati with a 3-1 lead. On the home run by Mariano Duncan in the second inning, a 3-run homer, all the runs unearned. Hayes with a good lead, and Mailer season. Lou Piniella said before the game, I've told my pitching staff I want a lot of throws to first base. We've got a good, strong-arm catcher. Give him a chance. So the Red pitchers are going to throw over a lot. Towards the middle, base hit. Stopping at second base is Hayes. Dickie Thorne has been on twice, a walk and a single. Philadelphia keeps the inning going. Runners at first and second base now with 2 down.
Depending on what happens here with Dalton, if he can continue the inning, well, the Phillies still must be thinking, oh, what might have been. If Jordan shots in a gap, this game is tied right now.
What if, huh?
What if? But Dalton might still do it.
Good hitter's ballpark, but not for Dalton.
No.
2 down and 2 on. Straight away on him. Takes that one inside for a ball. Mailer's given up 3 hits to the Phillies, and all of them have been in this inning. Sweet Lou.
Right here, Leiva's lineup of Charlie Hayes batting 8th pays dividends. Mailer must throw strikes to Dalton. He does not want to face Hayes.
Gets one there.
Hayes is a good bat hitting in the 8th spot. Good pop, good RBI potential. So Dalton's going to get some pitches in this situation. You wouldn't normally think a guy down near the tail of the end of the lineup would get in a 3-1 game, 2 on, 2 outs.
See what Dalton can do with it. He's hitting 200 right now. Down the left field line, that's going to be trouble. Rules making the charge, is not going to get there. Fair ball. It'll hop off the top of the wall. Hayes has scored. Second run coming to the plate. Dickie Thon, the relay throw to the plate, and he is safe. Ball's walked over to third base. Goes Dalton. And the Phillies have tied this game. A 2 RBI double by Darren Dalton takes third on the throw to the plate.
Terrific job going the other way with a pitch on the outer half of the plate and drives this ball one hop right off the 330 sign in the corner.
And the strike taken by Hayes.
You know, the throw by Larkin was a dandy, and if Oliver controls it, Thon's out at the plate.
They have not charged an error. I agree with you if he hangs on to the ball, but it's a tough play. Always for the catcher that way. That one blooped down the right field line, fencing of the first base, foul territory. And Hayes is out of there, but 7 come to the plate for the Philadelphia Phillies as they pick up the 3 runs, all of their hits coming in that inning. Tied it up.
Sharp, the first 12-to-1 zoom camcorder, that's who. Sharp, so fully automatic, just turn it on and shoot. The Sharp 12-to-1 zoom camcorder, that's who. While most camcorders stop here, Sharp keeps zooming all the way to here. Beautiful, even in low light. Sharp, the first 12-to-1 zoom. Nobody gets you closer to the ones you love than Sharp. From Sharp Minds come Sharp products.
I was looking for something a little bigger. I'll take it.
When the moment comes to start life on your own, there's no better card than MasterCard.
It's just the bare necessity.
With payment flexibility and unsurpassed acceptance, so you can buy what you want.
What is this?
Where you want. For the way we really live.
So what do you think of my place?
It's definitely you.
MasterCard. Master the moment.
Red Devil enamel. You can always count on its durable finish. Harder than ordinary paints, its beauty lasts and lasts. Red Devil enamel for the finish of a lifetime.
At Fenway Park in Boston, one of the more interesting plays of the year and frightening as well. Bill Buckner at the plate takes Kirk McCaskill out to right field. Watch Claudell Washington, the right fielder, running after the ball, goes full tilt into the padding, over into the stands as the ball lays around there. Washington is lying down injured. Buckner has an inside the park home run. Claudell Washington lay there for about 5 minutes, finally did get up. He is okay, apparently. We'll let you know later. Let's get back to Gary and Norm.
Chris Sabo, first ball, hitting down to third. Too hot for Charlie Hayes to handle. They've given a base hit to Sabo, so he's 2 for 3 now. And Cincinnati's got the leadoff man on in the 5th inning.
In the interest of the baseball fans around America, I hope John Saunders gets us a time for Buckner rounding the bases there.
You wanted a stopwatch on that? Bunted, and a beauty. Hayes, barehanded. That's a major league play. He didn't get him. Wouldn't have had him anyway. The ball was dropped by Jordan, but Doug Harvey said he was safe. Sabo stops at second base, and Harvey had already made the safe sign, so that's going to be an infield single for Billy Hatcher.
Here's the red speed coming to play again. Hatcher, who can really zip. Terrific play, Charlie Hayes. Yeah, he had beaten the throw.
And Cincinnati in a 3-3 ball game with 6 hits now, adding 2 more this inning off Ruffin, who continues to struggle. People getting on base, leadoff man on for the 5 innings. He's got 2 on here with nobody out, and the league's leading hitter standing in.
But would you bunt here?
No.
Hayes is playing it back. He better be careful. If he plays it, he's even with the bag right now. Larkin may try to beat one out for a base hit on him.
Takes that one down low. Larkin, who hit .299 with runners in scoring position last season, has 11 RBIs, leading Cincinnati Reds in runs batted in, along with that big average he's got. 1-0 the count. Ruffin ladled to center again, but right at Dykstra, tagging up at second base. Sabo will go. Dykstra's throw cut off. Good heads-up base running. Chris Sabo, the Bulldog, goes from second to third on a line drive to straightaway center field, really, but Dykstra had no play on him. It was cut off by Dickie Thon. One away, first and third now for the cleanup batter, Todd Benzinger. Hatcher stayed at first.
Well, the Philly hope here now is to get the double play, but Philadelphia better be very careful, because Hatcher is very much a threat to steal second here, and they're very much a threat to put some kind of double steal play on, because Sabo can move at third. You know, probably one of the least noticed factors about Sabo's game, Gary, is how well he runs. This kid stole 46 bases a couple years ago.
He's a great ball player. Real hustler. Blocked. Dalton keeps it in front of him. So Pinella's got some room here. And Benzinger looking at third at Sam Perlazo as though he's not quite sure what the sign is. So Perlazo's going through it again.
Here's an action pitch for the Reds. 1-0, where the guy who's been throwing the ball around the strike zone most of the evening is a pitch you can send Hatcher on if you want to fiddle with it here.
Doesn't go, and he went after that one. They'll check it first, and Harvey will give him a strike on that. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, a 3-3 game. Lou Piniella hiding in the corner there to give his signs. Relaying them out to third. Hatcher's not been thrown out this season. He's 5 for 5 stealing bases. He won't have to this time. RBI base hit. Todd Benzinger going over to third base. Vaughn Hayes making the throw on Hatcher. Not in time. Ruffin backing it up. And down to second base goes Benzinger. And the Reds go back on top 4-3, and they continue to slice and dice Bruce Ruffin.
This is not a good choice by Von Hayes. He has terrific speed at first base in Hatcher. And by going after him at third, he loses the shot at the double play.
And that, fortunately, there would have been another run.
Tell you what, that wasn't a bad throw. Charlie Hayes just didn't handle it on one hop.
He's struggling at third base.
He really is.
2 in scoring position now, and here's O'Neill, Paul O'Neill. Ruffin gets it in for the strike. So Benzinger is having a big night. Todd Benzinger's had 2 singles, a run scored, because he walked in the second. He's been on all 3 times he's been to the plate. He's at second base. Hatcher's at third. And O'Neill, who's hitting .262, looking for a couple of runs batted in right here. Up the middle, he's going to get him. Clean base hit. That'll bring home 2. Hatcher scores. Benzinger comes in. Throw comes to second base. 2 RBIs for O'Neill. And the Reds have picked up 3 runs here in the 5th and lead it 6-3.
And just like that, the 3-run lead is back as Leyva heads to the mound, probably to replace Ruffin. To give you an idea of how potent these Reds have been offensively, realize that O'Neill, who entered the game hitting .275, was the 8th best hitter in this starting lineup at game time. 8th best at .275 for the year.
Ackersfield and Carmen have both been warming up, so if Leyva wants to make the move, and he does, he can make it right here. This has just been a very tough night for Bruce Ruffin, the left-hander, who came in 1-1 on the season. He's going to be out of the game after his teammates got him back into it. In the bottom half of the 4th inning, he could not hold the Cincinnati Reds. RBI single by Benzinger, and the 2 RBIs picked up by O'Neill. He's gone. We've got a change in pitchers. We'll tell you about it when we come back with the Red Zone.
A lot of cars reach 60,000 miles, but only 3 have done it in just 19 days. And every one was a Subaru. The durable, reliable 4-wheel drive Subaru Legacy. At an average speed of 138 miles an hour, the Legacy hasn't just proven itself. It's taken less time to do it than any other car in the world.
Factory-to-dealer cash incentives on selected models make it a great time to come into your Subaru dealer.
So what'd you use? My checkered face framing hammer.
In New Britain, Connecticut, people don't talk about the weather.
You use a checkered face framing hammer?
Where was your curved claw finish hammer?
You see, since 1843, New Britain's been the home of Stanley.
But I got him a Stanley handsaw last year for his birthday.
And if local conversation revolves around tools...
Hey, fellas, look at this. Whoa.
It's only because we make tools worth talking about.
Stanley's 12-foot power lock tape rule, huh?
For better bat control, there's only one glove crafted with Baton's digital Cabretto leather. Franklin. The batting glove that's a hit with the best in baseball.
Now 6-3 Cincinnati leading it. Ruffin leaves it. Tough night, 4 1/3. There you see what he struggled through. And the left-hander goes, and the right-hander comes on.
On comes Darryl Ankerfeld's purchase from the Rangers on the 31st of March this spring. Has had terrible control problems in the 2 1/3 innings he's pitched so far. When he's right, he throws a heavy fastball, hard sinker, low in the strike zone. He's a former University of Arkansas linebacker, and in his 8-year pro career has been the property of 5 different players.
Herm Winningham is the pinch hitter for Romes, who was out of there, who had a single and reached on an error, so not a bad night for him. But Winningham, left-handed hitter, facing the right-hander with a runner at first base. That's O'Neill. He'll draw the throw from Ackerfelds. Cincinnati Reds really deflate an opposing team when they've come back and scored in their half of the inning. You come right back and take the lead. Beneath us?
Just in front. It's a good spot for foul balls.
Yeah, they come right up here.
Yeah.
You got a real shot. That big mitch you got there, you can...
It's my hands.
Oh, I'm sorry. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away. I didn't think you'd notice. There we are. High atop. Winningham is a pinch hitter, 0 for 2. There goes the base runner, hitting runs on, slapped the first. Jordan looked at second, decided the better of it, and that will save a double play, or at least a potential one, as Winningham grounds out down to second base. O'Neill, 2 away now, with Duncan coming up.
This may be just another game in just another season. It's late April, there's a long way to go, but Darryl Ankerfelds is out there pitching for his life right now. The rosters in the major leagues shrink from 27 to 25 on Monday. And Darryl Ankerfelds is obviously one of the people on the bubble in Philadelphia.
He is that. Philadelphia's already said they're going to keep 25. So if they're going to do it, and other teams have also said so, the expectation is everybody will, although there's been no formal announcement by the teams that that's what will happen. But I assure you, no president or general manager is going to allow another team he's going to be facing to have 25 players and force his manager to go with 24. Oliver, big stride, takes the pitch up high. Ackerfelds, 2 down now, 3 runs in for the Reds.
In Philadelphia, they announced in the spring they would carry 25. They jumped right out there and literally got to the front of that movement immediately.
When you finish last a couple of seasons, you want to give your manager all the shot you can. Breaking ball, missed again. 3 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, Bill Giles, the president and general partner of this club, in spring training proclaimed that his club would carry 25 this year. And you're very right. If one guy does it, everybody falls in line, basically.
Yeah, they have to. Oliver hitting 225 with a runner at second, is taking all the way. Takes the strike. 3 and 1. Here's your base runner, Paul O'Neill. Picked up a couple of RBIs with his base hit. 2 on. O'Neill now has driven in 12. to right field. Off and flying O'Neill. Played by Hayes. The throw coming to the plate. And he went in standing up. Made it a close play. But it's an RBI on the base hit by Oliver. And it is a 7-3 Cincinnati lead. 2 out hitting.
Nothing but big innings in this ball game. A 3-run Cincinnati second, a 3-run Philly fourth, and now a 4-run Cincinnati fifth. O'Neill looked like he was on skates coming around third there. And catcher Dalton deked him pretty well.
I don't know where Duncan, the on-deck batter, was. He didn't give the sign to slide, which is where it's got to come from. 4 runs in now for the Reds. There's Mariano Duncan, 3rd home run, 2nd inning, 3 RBIs unearned. 7-3, 9 hits now for the Reds. Towering pop-up down the right field line. Von Hayes having trouble with it. Oof. Ball with not a lot of wind here was carrying over towards the stands. 8 came to the plate for Cincinnati. They jumped for 4 more and have the big lead.
In ancient times, an eclipse moved people to powerful emotions. Some even thought it called for a sacrifice. We can understand how an eclipse might produce feelings of excitement, wonder, even awe. But at $10,919, the Mitsubishi Eclipse is hardly a sacrifice.
Saturday morning. Time to climb up on the old lawn tractor and ride. Well, if this is what it feels like, maybe you should look into a new Honda. With its smooth-running, liquid-cooled engine, hydrostatic transmission, and super comfortable seat, it takes care of you as well as your lawn. Test drive the new Honda hydrostatic transmission lawn tractor and put the old lawn tractor out to pasture.
From the Far East to Europe. Across the Caribbean and throughout North America, only one airline covers so much of the world with so much warmth.
Ricoh Copier Speed. Ricoh's revolutionary menu reader does the job with one button. Fast. Power. Ricoh Copier Power. Built to work to get the job done fast. Ricoh, where imagination becomes reality. To find the Ricoh office nearest you, dial 1-800-63-RICOH.
Hatcher has started in center field for the Reds, has moved over to left field now. And Herm Weddingham, who came on a pinch hit in that last half inning, stays in and will play center. And that'll do it for Ackerfelds as well. He's out of the game now for a pinch hitter. So Ackerfelds worked 2/3 of an inning, giving up a hit, rest zeros. The final on Ruffin, 4 1/3, 7 runs, 4 earned, 8 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and he gave up his first home run of the season to Duncan. And Mailer now, who had a 3-run lead earlier, has a 4-run lead after that outburst in the 5th, and the Phillies again will try and battle back.
This is pinch hitter Dave Hollins. He's a young third baseman they drafted out of the San Diego system during the winter. You got to love his minor league numbers. In 3 years down there, he hit nearly 300 composite. A University of Buffalo product right there in Main Street, Buffalo, New York. Dave Hollins moved from Spokane to Riverside to Wichita in their system, twice hitting over 300 in the minor leagues. Not a lot of power, but a good, solid third base prospect.
0 for 1 as a pinch hitter this season. And he takes the strike on the inside corner. Great to have all of you with us here at the Bet in Philadelphia. Gary Thorne and Norm Hitzges. The Reds, last night, beaten by the Phillies, who have won 4 straight. But the Reds put the big red attack on here, leading 7-3 now. There's a real off-speed breaking ball by Mailer. Ruffin's gone. So is Ackerfels. We're going to see the third pitcher coming on for Philadelphia. Mailer trying to pick up his first win, get his first decision of the season with a lead. There's another one. He's almost floating a Rip Sewell bloop pitch. 3-2.
The rules, of course, regarding Hollins are that Philadelphia must keep Hollins the entire season on their Major League roster. If they don't, they must offer him back to the Padres, and you've got to believe the Padres would take this kid back to their system.
3-2. That is a foul ball. Played by Benzinger in foul territory. They'll do it again.
Especially when you realize that the Padres, in the deal with the Indians, gave away their other terrific minor league third base prospect, Carlos Baerga. So that system really doesn't have any third baseman in it near the top of the organization now.
They'll definitely take this kid back if they do not keep him, and he draws the walk.
Yeah, that's a good at-bat by Dave Hollins. For a kid out of the minor leagues, that's a very, very good at-bat.
2 walks given up now by Mailer, and that's a leadoff walk. He did not want to do that. Top of the order, Dykstra. I want to remind you, Friday night, World Champion A's travel to historic Fenway Park. They'll be facing the Red Sox. Then the Cardinals take on Will Clark and the Giants. It's all coming your way Tuesday night, a doubleheader live right here on ESPN. Starting 7:30 Eastern, followed up by the second. And that one's taken inside for a ball.
Tell you what's got to be bothering Mailer. He needs to complete this inning to qualify for a win. Last inning certainly didn't give the Reds much encouragement by Mailer, and the walk to start this one's got to annoy Lou Piniella some more.
Dykstra is hitting .381. As the runner at first, he'll force Mailer to throw some strikes here because they need some base runners.
And the Reds bullpen is busy. From this far away, that looks like the blonde hair of Norm Charlton getting loose.
Ball, curveball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dykstra bloops it to left. Hatcher. Dykstra retired, 1 away. Let's check in with our Baseball Tonight studio and see what's going on, John Saunders.
Well, former Met Keith Hernandez against the son of Mets pitching coach Mel Stottlemyre. That would be Todd. Todd Stottlemyre to Keith Hernandez, a 2-run home run, which ties the game at 3-3. Right now, the Jays are up 4-3. That's the first in the American League for Keith. Back to you.
It's going to be interesting to see. Keith got the big money, and Hernandez, they expect some leadership from him there. There's Shelton warming up. 1 out. Runner at first base for Tommy Herr. Scored a run in the 4th.
By the end of this year, Charlton's got a chance to be a changed person, because he's hanging around with Rob Dibble and Randy Myers in their bullpen. They were palling around just before the game.
Great crew. Crazy, but great.
By the way, before the game, we may have had the all-time record for goofy relievers talking set in baseball as Tug McGraw interviewed Randy Myers and Rob Dibble.
They brought Tug out to throw BP today, the Phillies did.
He threw a couple that broke still.
Oh, he can throw hard. In fact, Larry Bowa, one of the coaches of the Phillies, had to get him to slow down. That one towards second base. Duncan to short. 1, Larkin to first. And they've got the double play. Tommy Herr. He won't do that very often. Hits into the double play. So only 3 come up. The leadoff walk goes by the boards.
Bud Light proudly presents George Strait.
Barbasol Gel gives you a super close shave like the other gel, but at a great Barbasol price.
Your Barbasol Gel, sir. Your change, sir.
Barbasol Gel. No wonder it appeals to the rich.
In ancient times, an eclipse moved people to powerful emotions. Some even thought it called for a sacrifice. We can understand how an eclipse might produce feelings of excitement, wonder, even awe. But at $10,919, the Mitsubishi Eclipse is hardly a sacrifice.
I used pressure-treated lumber, and I still have $800 in water damage. How come?
Even treated wood needs Thompson's Water Seal protection.
This patio was supposed to last for years. Now I have $1,200 in damage. Why?
Your concrete wasn't protected with Thompson's Water Seal. Thompson's penetrates into wood, brick, or concrete to form a barrier water can't get past, even when driven by 98-mile-per-hour winds.
Let it rain. This time I use Thompson's, a great defense against repair expense.
Thompson's, the first name in lasting protection.
ESPN Baseball Tonight, brought to you by Mitsubishi, bringing you a full line of award-winning automobiles. See them all at your Mitsubishi Motors dealer. And by Honda Power Equipment, makers of innovative and dependable lawn mowers, lawn tractors, and riding mowers.
Rick Mailer picks up a leadoff single. The opposing pitcher off Todd Froworth, who just came on in relief for Philadelphia. That hurts if you're Froworth.
Well, Froworth has had a terrible start to this season. This one hit right back at him. That's the 9th man Todd Froworth has faced this year in 5 appearances. He's gotten 2 of the 9 men out. 3 hits and 4 walks to the 9 men he's faced. We talked about Ackerfelds being on the bubble. Here is bubble resident number 2.
26-year-old right-hander Todd Froworth. That's 10 hits now for the Reds, and for Mailer, his 100th career hit. Froworth's got some big numbers, and he doesn't want them as he faces Chris Sabo. Mailer's 1 for 6 now this season, and had 98 hits with a 184 batting average coming into the year. So congratulations to Rick Mailer on his 100th Major League hit. Nobody got the ball. 3 balls and no strikes.
Froworth has spent parts of the last 3 seasons with the Phillies, bouncing back between Philadelphia, Reading, Maine, and Scranton. Former 13th round pick of this club. Ooh, and things just get worse for Todd Froworth, as now he's faced 10 men this season and given up 3 hits and 5 walks. And we may get to see that whole Philadelphia staff tonight.
Nick Leyva's on his way out to talk with this middle reliever. The Phillies bullpen has been exceptional thus far this season. Roger McDowell has picked up 5 saves coming on in the late innings. They've been able to get it done. Don Carmen, the 2nd time that he's been up and throwing, and looks as though he may get some work in here. 7-3 game with Cincinnati on top. Knowles, pitching coach, is out there talking to Froworth. Let's check in with John Saunders.
Well, Gary, let's check around the rest of the National League. The Braves now leading the Mets 5-3. Montreal and Houston just getting underway. You can see the rest of this game starting at 10:05 or 10:35 right now. Let's get it back to Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia.
Well, the Cincinnati team just exploding for hits this year. And they're trying to move a couple up. Throw down by Dalton and a save made. Whoa. Thawne had to go way up in the air to haul that in on the pickoff attempt at second base on Rick Mailer.
Rick Mailer was so dead at second base. Oh my, Mailer had wandered off, and a good throw, and Mailer is a dead pigeon.
But he doesn't get on that much. I mean, it's true. He's just watching the game out there at second base. A 1-0 count, bunting again, and a good one by Hatcher. They'll go to third, and he got it. Mailer, it was a decent bunt. Mailer, without any speed, has taken out the lead runner. Getting over, and Froworth throws sidearm even to third base. Now Sabo's at second, and Hatcher's on at first.
This is not Ben Johnson. But again, Hatcher's got to make the third baseman feel that ball. We can laugh all we want about Mailer, but Hatcher didn't do his job there. No. You've got to force Hayes to field that bunt.
Give Froworth a little credit, though. He got off the mound in a hurry on that. Hatcher had shown bunt the first time, and Froworth was breaking the third. Pickoff on Sabo. He threw it into center field. Sabo's on his way to third base. Dykstra will make the throw to second. No play anywhere. That's a big play right there. That puts two in scoring position on the error on the throw. And the Phillies not playing a strong defensive game here tonight.
Roworth's terrible throw. My goodness. This ball isn't even close. That throw to second base is a good 10 feet from where it should be. And now, see, now you've got to put another man on in this situation. You've got to play it this way and take your chances with Benzinger, who, thank you very much, has been red hot this evening.
They're going to give the intentional pass to the number 3 hitter, the league's leading hitter, Larkin. First time he's been on tonight to face Benzinger, who's already had an RBI single, 2 singles and a walk and 2 runs scored. That's all Benzinger's done, and now he's going to come up with the bases loaded. So here's busted open time for Todd Froworth, who's not going to stay around to see it. Nick Leyva's out. Don Carmen has warmed up and is ready to come in. Carmen's going to face a bases-loaded situation with Sabo, Hatcher, and Larkin on, and the cleanup batter coming up. Leyva's not a happy skipper.
Here's the problem. Benzinger's hitting over 400 right-handed, which he'll hit against Carmen, and 250 left-handed, which he would have hit against Phillies.
Another pitching change. Carmen coming on. While they do that, we'll check in with John Saunders, Baseball Tonight.
Gary Norman, let's check around the rest of the American League here. Milwaukee leading Kansas City 1-0. That one is now in the 8th. Seattle up 2-1 over the Yankees in the 6th. Oakland leading Baltimore. Jose Canseco with a 2-run home run, his 4th of the year. California leads Boston 3-1 there. Billy Buckner does have an inside-the-park home run. The Blue Jays have opened up a 5-3 lead. Detroit 3-1 over Minnesota. Trammell with an RBI groundout, and Sheets with an RBI sac fly. And Chicago now leading Texas 2-1. That game just in the top of the 2nd. Fisk with an RBI single there. Let's get it back to Gary and Norm.
Thank you, John. Back here at the vet in Philadelphia, 7-3 Cincinnati lead, and they are threatening to blow it open with the bases loaded here and only 1 out. More baseball coming up on ESPN Sunday night. All-Star second baseman, Gold Glover Ryne Sandberg will lead the Cubs against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Sunday night baseball live at 8 Eastern right here on ESPN, and you folks in Chicago will be seeing that game here on ESPN, so you'll see your Cubbies Sunday night.
The 4th pitcher of the evening for Philadelphia is 30-year-old Don Carmen. Carmen's had a good year so far to the Philadelphia Pen. This is appearance number 5. He's allowed only 2 hits in a little over 5 innings of work and struck out 5 in that time. Don Carmen's one of those guys that people thought was about to break through back in 86-87. This guy put back-to-back seasons of 9-4, 10-5, and 13-11. But since then, it's been downhill. A very, very poor 5-15 season last year for Carmen, who now works from the Philly pen. This is a guy that a lot of teams were interested in over the winter, because a lot of people feel this is a left-hander that if you could straighten him out, it's a good pitcher.
He's going to need to be good right here. He faces almost a must-shut-down situation, as Carmen's going to face the cleanup batter, Todd Benzinger. He's got a chance for his 4th career grand slam. Not a very good average with runners in scoring position last season.
Well, remember, Pete Rose ripped Todd Benzinger last season. Publicly ripped him. Saying didn't drive in big runs, swung at bad balls under pressure.
He's hitting .357 right now as he stands in. 1 home run, 6 RBIs, bases loaded, 1 down. Carmen gets the pitch in for a strike.
And again, this move of Philadelphia from a right-hander to a left-hander moves Benzinger, a switch hitter, back over to his by far strongest side.
Benzinger back to the right side here. Cincinnati, 10 hits, 7 runs. Dalton scoops. 1 ball, 1 strike. For the Reds now, this ball club, which has been so tough offensively, they're just picking up 10 hits or more in 10 of their last 12 games. That'll scare some pitching staffs, especially Atlanta's, who they just rocked on in 6 games at the beginning of the season. 1-1. 2-1.
Well, in that race spot in the second tonight marked the 10th time in 12 games the Reds had also scored first. You know, there's that baseball axiom again. It's early. It's early in the season. It's early in the game, and it's never early in baseball.
It's never early for wins.
No.
Foul back. Benzinger. Good pitch by Carmen, low and away. Evens the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Here's one of those trades that truly did benefit both teams. Benzinger came over to be the steadiest, everyday, unhurt player for the Reds last year. And Rob Murphy really gave Boston a good left-handed reliever.
That's one each GM could justify easily. 2-2. Stays that way. Busted the fingers. Right off the handle on Benzinger. Bases are loaded. Sabo's on at third. Hatcher at second. Larkin at first. Froworth, a third of an inning, gave up 2 walks and a hit, including one to the pitcher, Mailer, who started it out. All those runners, Froworth's responsibility. Carmen, 2-2. Heading to Chop, who protects the plate.
By the way, again, let us update you on Froworth for the season on the numbers. He's now faced 12 hitters this season and gotten 3 of them out. And the one he got out tonight, the batter was giving himself up, attempting to make an out.
He's not going to be real anxious on the roster reduction coming up. 2-2. 3 times now. Carmen's delivered a good pitch 3 times. Benzinger has fought it off. Real battle going right here.
Well, this is the pitch that the pitcher feels some pressure and the hitter doesn't in this situation. A pitcher does not want to go 3-2 here.
You don't want to have to make that pitch.
No, you don't want to have to make the pitch in the strike zone.
So they'll do it again, 2-2. We'll do it again, 2-2. Shirt sleeve crowd on hand here in Philadelphia tonight. 8-6 Phillies, just a half game out in the division. Trying to put together their 5th win in a row. Last season, they never won more than 4 games in a row all year.
In fact, they haven't won 5 in a row since 87.
87.
Wow.
2-2. Benzinger. That's 6.
Excuse me, I'm going to go get some coffee. You need anything?
Have a good time. Bring me some more. It's a great job at the plate. I'll tell you about Keith Hernandez earlier playing at Cleveland as you look at the bet. Keith used to always say what he felt helped to make him a great hitter, and he certainly was and is, was his ability to fight off an opposing pitcher's best pitches and allow himself to see a better than best pitch to hit. That's what Benzinger's trying to do here. Carmen. That was close. Dalton reaching for that one, and here it is. Bases loaded. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Sabo the lead runner at third base. Hatcher's at second. Larkin at first. The infield looking for the double play ground ball. Don Carmen looking to throw a strike above and beyond all right here. 3-2. He did. It was hit to center deep. Whittingham on the fly back near the warning track has it. He's got it. 400 feet away. Tagging up at third is Sabo. He'll score. And it is an 8-3 Cincinnati lead, and it was almost a lot more. Benzinger picking up his 2nd RBI of the game on a 400-foot sacrifice fly.
If Benzinger sprays this ball in the slightest either direction, he catches paint off the wall, and 2 or 3 score. Dykstra onto the track. The track's about 10 feet, so you got to figure that ball right at about 398 feet.
Boy, did he shoot that one up the middle. Now there are 2 down. Runners in scoring position. Everybody moved up. O'Neill. It will be called a strike. So for Benzinger, and a couple more RBIs on the season for him here tonight. He now has 7. Paul O'Neill, great production from O'Neill now with his 2 RBIs. He's up to 12, raising his average to 279 for the base hit he had in the 5th. Ow, right off Dalton's mask.
We're 2 outs in the 6th inning for the Reds. And the only position in the lineup that doesn't have a base hit is, see Dalton blocked that one with his face, is Barry Larkin, the leading hitter in the league.
Isn't that the way it always goes? It's always like that. Even the pitcher picked up a hit. 0-2 the count with 2 down, and he went to the outside corner and missed. He had him set up. He jammed him, and O'Neill was backing off the plate.
In this situation, the Phillies have consistently kept the ball on or just off the outside corner with the breaking ball against O'Neill.
1-2.
Yep.
2-2.
Same spot again as Dalton moved out to the outer half of the plate, and Carmen misses maybe 2-3 inches from the spot he wanted to hit.
Why is baseball called a game of inches? There's 2 pitches right there. One of the reasons why. And that ball to center field, another one.
Well, let's see where Dalton moves now. Gives the signal. Moves outer half again.
2-2 again.
Ooh,
got him that time. He went for it 3 times. O'Neill didn't like it, but Carmen gets the strikeout, so he comes in with the bases loaded and 1 away and gives up only 1. But Cincinnati's got a 5-run lead.
The all-new Toyotas are hot. And for the next 90 hours, your Toyota dealer is making things even hotter because he's making red-hot deals on a great selection of economical Corollas. And there may never be a better time to get a hot deal on a brand-new Camry. And he's making deals on the all-new Celica that are just too hot to handle. So come in and take your pick of the hottest-selling Toyotas in town while they last. Just be careful where you park them. Hot cars, hot deals at your Toyota dealer. But hurry, after 90 hours, the fire goes out.
If you joined us late, he is not playing tonight. Eric Davis out of there, injured. Right medial collateral ligament sprained knee is the diagnosis. And he's out of there. He did it last night, 2nd inning, trying to steal a base.
I'm sure Dan Schatzeder enjoyed appearing in our flashback.
Yes, watching the ball sail out. There's Eric. And as Norm mentioned earlier, one of the real pluses for the Reds, they're 9-2 with Eric Davis, their star, hitting under 170. Not happy, obviously, about the injury. How long that's going to be remains to be seen. He was not in good shape today. And again, Rick Mahler does the last thing he wants to do. He's got an 8-3 lead in the bottom of the 6th inning, and for the 2nd consecutive inning, he's walked the leadoff batter. That's 3 walks given up now by Mahler.
You know, that's a strange graphic for a control pitcher. But Rick Mahler will often, it seems, work behind in the count and still not give up many walks.
Not normal for him to be doing that. However, it should be remembered, Norm, that because of the way the season started, Mahler has not worked. He's made only 1 start, and that was on the 15th. Ooh, and that's 9 days ago, and his only other appearance was in relief.
Have we got a graphic on how he does on 9 days rest?
You asked for it, you'll probably get it. Pitches a strike on the outside corner to Jordan. He picked up an RBI with a sacrifice fly his last time up, his 9th of the season. Lou Piniella was saying before the game, I asked Lou, I said, what's the major concern you have about the Cincinnati Reds right now? He says, I got to get my staff some innings. He says, we just started the season out, number 1 with spring training and the lockout, and number 2 with not enough games played at the beginning. Because of the way the schedule was set, he said these starters just are not getting enough work, and Mahler's one of them. That one shot into right center field is going to land in for a base hit. Phillies aren't going to die. Jordan is on at first base, over to 3rd. Easily goes Vaughn Hayes. Philadelphia has runners at 1st and 3rd with nobody out.
And that may be the last pitch Rick Mahler throws in this game. That ball hadn't landed on the artificial surf in right center field, and Lou Piniella was already out of the dugout. Jordan inside outs that ball, and Rick Mahler's gone.
Jordan now 10 for his last 21 at the plate. will be it for Mailer, but he's stayed in there long enough to pick up the win, so he hopes he'll get some help out of that bullpen. Norm Charlton has been warming up, coming on. Mailer leaves, so will we. We'll be right back.
Life's full of simple pleasures, like the comfort of Levi's.
Norm Charlton, the left-hander's on, and here's John Kruk, first and third occupied. Strike call.
Norm Charlton, a former #1 draft choice of Montreal, out of Rice University, traded to the Reds for Wayne Krenchicki.
Great name. Fouls that one back.
In the midst of that abysmal season last year, one of the bright spots was this young man. He is 27 years old, and last year, Norm Charlton, 8-3, a 2.93 earned run average.
It's a good bullpen. Check swing, he went around on that one, no question about it. Kruk is punched out of there. So Charlton comes on in a hurry to get the first out. That's the first strikeout for Cincinnati pitchers. Mailer did not have one in his 5+.
Last year, Charlton set an all-time record. He made 69 bullpen appearances and never got a save.
Dickie Thon.
But when you remember who the left-hander was in the Reds bullpen last year, there's a good reason Charlton didn't get any saves.
Charlton's one of those guys who wants that hold statistic to become an official number to take to the bargaining table. 1-0 pitch to Thon, line to short, hauled down by Larkin. A blistering line drive by Dickie Thon, but right at Barry Larkin, and there are 2 away.
Key moment in this game. It is 8-3 Cincinnati. If this ball gets over the shortstop, it's into the left center field gap, likely a double for Thon. The score is 8-4 with 2 runners in scoring position.
And it didn't.
It didn't.
So instead there are 2 down, and runners remain at first and third. Now here's a pretty big performance right here with the help of that line drive. Charlton's got a chance to come on with nobody out and runners at the corners and retire the 3 batters he faces without allowing a run if he can get Dalton. This is with that one, 2 balls and no strikes.
Boy, here's a guy whose name came up all winter. People saying, you interested in trading Norm Charlton?
No.
No. They've got a dynamite bullpen set up right now in Cincinnati. With this guy before Dibble and Myers, that's a wonderful setup.
In trouble right here, though, 3-0. Burns that one in. 3 balls and 1 strike, 2 down.
Tell you what, well, this is University of Texas night, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Ruffin from Texas, Charlton from Rice, and Ackerfels is from Arkansas.
And the bases are loaded. So Dalton is on. Hayes at third. Jordan goes down to second, and Dalton to first. Charlton giving up the walk, and the bases are loaded with 2 away. Charlie Hayes, the third baseman, who has struggled at third base tonight defensively, has got an opportunity to do what baseball does best, and that's give guys a chance to redeem themselves.
If you wonder if Charlie Hayes has power, Charlie Hayes hit a ball in the upper deck at the Vet last year. We may be able to get a shot of that for you a little later, but upper deck here is a shot.
Hayes taking it down low. The Reds lead at 8-3. Philadelphia battled from a 3-0 deficit to tie the game up. Then the Reds jumped out with an additional 4 runs in the 5th inning, put the lead up, and now here's Philadelphia battling here in the 6th to get back in it again.
In the 80s, only 4 Philadelphia players hit a ball in the upper deck in the Vet. 4 in a decade. And Charlie Hayes was one of them last year. Yeah, up there. Take a look where the upper deck is in this park. That's the right field line in a symmetrical stadium. but we're talking about a shot.
That's a launch job, and he's in trouble. 3 balls and no strikes on Hayes. As Norm Charlton suddenly lost the strike zone, and a walk here will bring in a run. And Hayes is going to watch this one. And he walked him on 4 straight. The easy RBI for Charlie Hayes. Juan Hayes scores from third base, and it's an 8-4 game.
And now, Gary, oh my, if Thon's ball got over Larkin's head into the left center field gap.
Talking big inning, and it may be it. There's Juan Hayes scoring. He scored 2 runs in this game. Randy Reddy is coming out to pinch hit with the bases loaded. They discuss it on the mound. Let's check in with John.
The Mariners and the Yankees at Yankee Stadium lead Guterman on to face Ken Griffey. Ken Griffey Jr., that is, and he sends this one into the gap right at the 385 sign. He would later score as Pete O'Brien flukes him home with a single. The Mariners leading the Yankees 3-1. It's now in the 7th. Let's get it back to Gary and Norm.
Cincinnati leading by 4. Randy Reddy pinch hitting for Don Carmen, the pitcher, with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Charlton checking at third base, trying to get out of the inning. Reddy, 5 in a row have been out of the strike zone. Reddy's going to make him throw strikes.
Well, and that's his history. He's pinch hit 4 times this year and walked twice. Randy Reddy, good solid pinch hitter and good guy to have hanging around your bench.
He's a veteran ball player. Charlton cannot find it. He's going to walk Philadelphia right back into this game. 2-0. Hayes started the inning with a walk-off Mailer. The single by Jordan. Mailer out of the game. Kruk struck out. Thon lined out, but now walks to Dalton and Hayes. And he gets the strike in. 2 balls and 1 strike. Randy Reddy pops it up. Shallow right field. O'Neill moving in, and Charlton comes back to get the out. And the ESPN. Mike Lupica will be joining us. Congratulations to Michael and family. Baby's just born, their first on the right field line. It's going to be a fair ball, and it'll be a ground rule double. Mariano Duncan, adding to the extra base hit total, picks out a 2-out ground rule double. He had the homer in the 2nd inning, and Mr. Power continues to pile up some numbers. Mamma mia, that's his 4th double, 3 home runs. He's also got a triple.
Again, realize this guy last year had 20 extra base hits all season, and he's got 8 in 2 weeks here. Is this guy eating Fruit Loops? Is this another Mickey Templeton story?
Whatever it is, he'll be the spokesperson for it if this keeps up.
Here's an obvious hitter. Look at the way Charlton stands in there confidently.
The pitcher fouls it off. He hit it.
Checks the bat to make sure it's not broken.
Probably somebody else's bat. 2 down, a runner at second base. 11 hits for the Reds.
Who probably gave him orders as he left the dugout. Don't you break that sucker.
If you break that bat, don't come back. First time up for him, he hits it again.
Ooh.
Hurd. Close, but he got him. That'll do it. Charlton almost beat that one out. No runs, a base hit. 1 left on. 7th inning stretch time at the vet in Philadelphia. Reds up.
Here, 4-1 is the lead in the 3rd inning. Let's get back to Gary Norm.
Lenny Dykstra leading it off here. Norm Charlton on in relief of Mailer, who could win it. Mailer went 5+, 4 runs, 5 hits, 3 walks, no strikeouts.
Bobby Witt in that highlight violating the #1 rule when you pitch to Ron Kittle. Do not throw the ball beneath his belt.
Kitty loves to yank it, doesn't he?
You get the ball down around his kneecaps, and he loves to get down on it.
Watching the game from the bench, hoping to pick up a win. 36-year-old right-hander, Rick Mailer. One's taken inside. Phillies have been no slouch at the plate in this 4-game win streak they're in. They had 15 hits last night. They had 50 hits in the 4 games that they'd won. Dykstra takes the strike. He tried to get Tom Hallion to give him that walk, but Hallion wouldn't do it. That's what Dykstra's job is here, leading off bottom of the 7th inning. 3 balls, 1 strike. Charlton's delivery, and he'll get it there. That's 3 walks now given up by Charlton, who came on in the last inning. And the leadoff man is on again.
It's got to be driving Lou Piniella crazy. He takes a 4-run lead in the top of the 5th, and his pitchers have walked the leadoff man 3 innings in a row.
That is fine time. It goes into Kitty for the meal at the party at the end of the year.
Drive you crazy.
Tommy Herr can handle a bat. Dykstra on at first base. Doubled and scored in the 4th.
And, you know, one thing that's a little strange as Stan Williams trots to the mound is there is no action in the Cincinnati pen, and Charlton certainly late last inning didn't give you cause for.
Reds looking for another one right here. Charlton's just struggling with that strike zone. 2 balls and no strikes now on her. In the middle of the order with Vaughn Hayes waiting on deck. And Lou Piniella's got to be about ready to pick that phone up. And it's picked up. 3 balls and no strikes.
7th inning. Is it too early for the Myers-Dibble combination?
Too early for Myers. Not for Dibble. 3-0. Looking to get on with a walk. Charlton gets the strike. 3 balls and 1 strike.
So right-hander in the Cincinnati pen, but that's not Rob Dibble, I believe. Is it? The pen here is about 4 light years away. Where's that Hubble telescope we needed?
Put this one up and get the satellite look. Charlton comes back and takes the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Did you hear the note on that telescope they put into space? It's so powerful you could take it to the top of the Empire State Building in New York, focus it on the Washington Monument in D.C., and read the writing. Is that a telescope or what?
You were doing that at the hotel last night. I'm not sure you were looking at the Washington Monument. 3-2, runner at first base. Got him! Oh, didn't like it. Tommy Herr talking with Tom Hallion, who's got the mask off. He thought it was outside. Charlton gets his 2nd strikeout. 1 away. Can't argue balls and strikes. Hallion gives him a little room. Herr goes back.
Why don't we make you the home plate umpire? What do you think sitting at home? Tough pitch. Tough pitch.
That's a ball.
Close to the corner, close to the knees.
That's a ball.
Close doesn't count.
Wasn't even close. 1 away. Here's Vaughn Hayes.
As Charlton gets ready to pitch, Joe Oliver's motioning the center fielder back, and he's waving straight out to Charlton.
Charlton's saying, no, I got to pitch from here. This is where the rubber is. I can't move back. Ball 1. Boy, this is dangerous territory for Charlton here. He is struggling trying to find that strike zone. And this is a guy you don't want to struggle against. 2 home runs for Hayes. That one's right in there.
But you know, again, Gary, this is an 8-4 game, but you look back, if Thon's drive gets over Larkin last inning, it's a big inning. That last pitch could have easily been ball 4, and an inning's cooking again for the Phillies.
They've been there, and they're still there. Vaughn Hayes, his 2nd hit of the game, 3rd time he's been on. Ooh. 2 singles and a walk, and Hayes puts runners at first and second for the cleanup batter, Ricky Jordan.
Now, how big is that 3-2 pitch to her? This is the tying run with nobody out, if that's ball 4 to Tom Herr.
That's why he argued. First and second, 1 away. Infield will stay for 2 for the Reds. 6 hits in the game now for the Phillies. And Ricky Jordan looking to add his RBI totals. He's picked up 1 in this game on a sacrifice fly. Takes the strike. There are the base runners. Dykstra down at second base. Hayes at first. Good speed on the base pass. And as we've said, Jordan red hot at the plate. 10 hits, his last 21 at bats. Shelton goes ahead on the count. 2 strikes.
You know, the funny thing about Jordan is this is a cleanup hitter without what you'd really consider cleanup hitters' power. In fact, we have 2 teams tonight playing cleanup hitters without big power. Jordan and Benzinger. Of course, Davis, when he's healthy, is the Reds' cleanup hitter.
Oh, did he help him? Shelton was wasting one, and Jordan went after him. 3 strikeouts, 3 walks. Benoit Charlton, and there are 2 down.
Well, Ricky Jordan would have needed a Viking boat's oar to reach this one.
Charlton gets a break right there, and now with runners at first and second, there are 2 down, and John Kruk brings the 0 for 3 to the plate. Kruk's 11 RBIs on the season, though, off the handle. No play.
John Kruk is one of those guys. He is not an athlete. He's a player. You look at the body and you think, come on. You know, this guy looks like any other guy on the street. And then you see him play, and you realize this guy can flat hit the baseball.
Dribbles that one at home plate. He really is a natural hitter. You talk to the guys around. He fooled around with his batting stance in San Diego for a while, which many thought hurt him a couple of years ago. He's one of those guys, you just send him to the plate and say hit, and he usually will. Charlton's pitch fouled over our heads. Count holds, 2 strikes, 2 down. 8-4, Cincinnati leading it. Dykstra's on at second base, started it out with a walk. Hayes delivered the single. He's at first.
The last 2 months of the season last year, Kruk never went more than 8 at-bats without a hit.
That didn't miss by much.
No. Well, Charlton snaps the glove down with some disdain. Norm, I tell you what, pal, I'd be careful there. You got one you needed this inning.
John Kruk with a 1-2 count. He's gone. Got him. Fooled him. He took something.
A couple of other plays that don't show up in the storyline, though. Line drives caught with men on base. Key ball and strike call last inning. This really isn't a game that's as far apart as an 8-4 scoreboard would indicate.
McElroy on in relief for the Phillies. Their 5th pitcher. Bruce Ruffin, the starter. Pitcher of record, along with Rick Naylor, the starter for Cincinnati.
And don't forget, the first 3 Reds runs were unearned.
Home run. Inning continued by an error.
Well, that was a terrible bugaboo for the Phillies last year. 91 unearned runs. Only Detroit allowed more in the major leagues.
Kills you. Just kills you. And he misses outside, and Sabo, who's been on already 3 times in this game, has a chance to get on again. Chris Sabo raising his average to 385. The 2 singles he's picked up tonight. 2 runs scored for him. Started 7th in the league in hitting tonight. And he's on again. So Sabo having a big night as he draws the walk. Getting on base one more time. He came in with an on-base percentage at 456. So he's pushed that up to around 500 here. 4th time he's been on.
That's already 10 walks this season for Sabo. 10 walks in 12 games.
Like that for a guy who's at the top of the order.
Don't you? Oh, hello.
Smashed over the bag. That's a fair ball. Billy Hatcher. It comes off the carom into shallow left. Sabo will score. Hatcher into second base. And it's a 9-4 Cincinnati lead as Hatcher picks up the RBI that caromed off the stands that protrude very close to that left field line. Ended up in shallow left field.
Gary, here's where a shortstop's got to go out and take a chance that this is going to happen. The stands jut right out here and kick the ball back into medium depth left field. That's almost a shortstop's play at that point. And Fahn just sort of hung around deep short and didn't go out there. It really probably wouldn't have prevented anything.
Might have held that runner at third.
Yeah, you might have held the runner at third.
If he picks that ball up, and that's just knowing your ballpark. That will happen here. Cincinnati doesn't hits now. Hatcher gets the RBI, his first of the night, third of the season. Barry Larkin, as Norm mentioned earlier, the league's leading hitter, the only position in the lineup that hasn't contributed tonight. I guess when you're hitting .451, you are entitled to that, especially when your club leads 9-4. He's got a runner in scoring position.
Tell you what, he better dig in here. He make sure he's still the league's leading hitter. Duncan at 2 for 4. No, Duncan's only into the 430s now. Larkin drops into the 440s if he doesn't get a hit this at bat.
Early in the season, when those at-bats are small in numbers, the average will vary up and down considerably depending on what you're doing any given night. Down low, good scoop made by Dalton.
Don't forget one other thing. The Reds had a game rained out in which they led Atlanta 9-4 in the third inning, and Larkin was already 2 for 2 in that game.
Good point. I think Atlanta saw enough of Cincinnati early on in the season.
Yeah, more than enough.
Nobody out, 2-2 delivery. They stay at 2-2. Hatcher's on at second base. Hatcher's been on now with a walk, a single, and a double tonight in his 5 times to the plate. So he hasn't hurt his numbers, getting the chance to play in the outfield tonight. Eric Davis out. Started in center, moved to left. There he goes to third. Up high, throw by Dalton. No way. What a jump. He stole on the rookie pitcher. McElroy never looked back, and Hatcher 6 for 6 in stolen bases this year.
See, here's where a lot of old book managers will say, what in the world are they doing here? They lead 9-4. It's the 8th inning, and they're stealing third with nobody out. But the Reds are a pressure baseball team. And everybody on this club can run.
There are their leaders in stealing bases. They're 25 now out of 29.
Gary, if this club stays healthy, as Larkin trots to first, if it stays healthy, and already Davis is dinged a little bit, do you realize this club's got the potential of having 5 50 steal men? Davis, Hatcher, Duncan, Larkin, and Sabo could all get 50, and O'Neill was 20 for 25 last year.
If they stay anywhere near the way they're getting on base, the way they're hitting the baseball, they'll have the opportunity. Benzinger with runners at first and third, infield halfway. Benzinger underneath that one will send it back into the seats.
Benzinger has followed this order by Paul O'Neill. This spring, the players fought to lower arbitration to 2 years. Here's why. Look at the career of Benzinger and O'Neill coming into this year. Same number of games, virtually the same average. Benzinger more RBIs, same home runs, but look at the difference in salary because Benzinger just short of 3 years. He'll make $300,000. O'Neill will make $800,000 just because O'Neill's got the leverage of a 3-year man that can go to arbitration.
And what really aggravates the players is the fact that it's done intentionally by the teams, even in situations where the team would have been helped. Did he get that one? Yes. Deep to left field, way back, looking up, off the top of the wall. Just missed the home run. 1 run is scored. They'll have to hold it up. It'll end up being a double. He just missed a 3-run homer. Hatcher scores. Benzinger picks up the double. That's going to be his 3rd RBI of the game, and the Cincinnati Reds lead it 10-4. He missed a home run by about 2 feet.
What a night for Todd Benzinger. Walked and scored, singled and scored. Line drive 400 feet to center field. It was caught and it was ruled a sacrifice fly. And now this one, let's see how much he missed by. Where's it hit? Oh, half a foot maybe?
It's right there, right along the yellow marker at the top.
Hey, you know what? You give him another foot on that drive, and you pull that line drive he hit earlier in the game, and Benzinger's got about 8 or 9 RBIs in this baby.
Big night. 3 RBIs in the game, 8 on the season for Todd Benzinger, who came in hitting .325. Has added to it with a big night. 10 runs on 13 hits now for the Reds. Infield will move in here. There's O'Neill. Runners at second and third. Dalton chases that one down a couple of feet. It's in there for a strike. O'Neill already has 2 RBIs. O'Neill on the season with 12. The Reds are really piling up the offense. They're going to raise their .314 team batting average. Maybe early in the season, 12th game. That's a tremendous average. And the Phillies down by 6 here in the 8th inning. They're going to go to the plate if they get a chance. Dalton's going to go out to talk with the rookie, McElroy, who, the way it's going, is probably going to have to eat some pitches here. And if he has trouble getting people out, it's not likely he's going to get any help. This one is almost out of the barn.
Well, hardly any of the people on the bubble for the Phillies tonight did themselves any good as far as locking down a roster spot with cut-down date coming.
1-1. Overhand pitch misses down low. 2 balls and 1 strike.
And you know, Gary, if you'll look back at your score sheet, this club's got 10 runs and 13 hits. Larkin lines into a double play in the first. Room's ball.
That's to left field. It's going to be caught. Kruk moving in, makes the baskets catch. Runner tags, fakes it. Good throw. Cut off by the shortstop Thon. Good throw by Kruk. That'll hold Larkin at third base. So O'Neill is not going to pick up another RBI on the fly ball to left.
Look at how many balls are really smoked. Brad Moore, he had another one of the bullpen pitchers on the bubble here. But I count 4 line drives caught in this game for the Reds now. And that ball Rooms hit to Hayes in the second inning. That ball was hit hard, too, that Hayes couldn't handle.
Winningham came on. First time at bat was in the 5th. Taking the 0 for 2. Infield stays in to right field. Von Hayes on the charge. Reaching out. Bobbles it. Makes the catch. Play coming to the plate. Off the mark. And it is 11-4. Winningham will get a sacrifice fly in the RBI as Larkin scores. Von Hayes almost lost that ball as he tried to get it out of the glove.
Hayes trying to make a quick transfer and throw here. Seemed to have trouble reading that ball. At the last minute, he seemed very, very uncertain as he reached for it, and then just misses getting the runner at the plate.
They appeal at third base. So whether or not he left too early, whether Larkin did, the appeal is denied. That's an interesting appeal right there. Here's Oliver, runner at second base. Oliver hitting .238. The reason that's interesting is, did the runner leave before Von Hayes had control of the baseball when he was bobbling it out there?
Well, you really don't have to have control. It's when he touches the glove.
That's right.
That's right, because if you ruled it on control, as Oliver gets another 2-out
base hit, that'll bring around another run. Kruk's throw to the plate. They come through, and he's safe. He went underneath Dalton. Close play. Benzinger not getting around in a real hurry. I don't think realized that throw was coming in as he got deked by Dalton. And another RBI on the board. This one for Oliver, his second of the game. Kruk made another good throw, but it's 12-4.
This is a good throw by Kruk, who's not known as having one of the wings. And Benzinger slowed up there. Dalton deked him. Look at Benzinger. He's out for a walk in the park, and suddenly he barely makes it home.
Yeah, but where are these on-deck batters?
Duncan again, though, notice. That's the second time in a game.
He delivers another base hit. Duncan to center field. On his way to third goes Oliver. Throw comes into second. Duncan, a home run, a double, and a single. 8 batters have come to the plate in the 8th inning for the Reds. They lead at 12-4. They still have runners at first and third, and Nick Leyva can just watch now as the Reds have turned on the juices.
Well, here you got to wonder how much you let a youngster like this take a beating in a game. McElroy's only 22. You certainly hate to see him get pounded like this, because we're talking about a kid who could have a fairly fragile psyche.
The other point from Leyva, though, is that you don't want to have to go into that pen if it's not going to be meaningful. Some of the fans here don't think it's going to be. They're leaving. Ooh, swung on and missed by the pitcher.
Charlton doesn't get cheated, does he?
Figures, what the heck? Nobody expects me to hit. I might as well take a whack at it.
Wing it here.
0-2 delivery, and he got him. But it was a long inning. 9.
There's your starters from last year. Let's get it back.
We were talking, John, about the fact some of the starters for different teams not getting enough work. See, Davey Johnson has got Ojeda in the bullpen anyway with the 6 starters, and then Darling as well, trying to give him some work. Pitch is bounced. Managers will be real happy when this season really gets rocking and the games are being played daily so they can get these starters in regular rotations. 12-4 here. 15-hit attack for the Reds. Dickie Thon fouling it back. Norm Charlton, all he wants to do now is throw some strikes. Working with this big lead. Thon, Dalton, and Hayes do up here for Philadelphia, whose 4-game win streak looks like it's going to be done away with, absent a miracle here. And it didn't start right there. It's 5 strikeouts now, 3 in a row. Norm Charlton went away in the 8th inning. You got him for 4?
In fact, the last 4 outs are all strikeouts for Charlton.
Yeah, that's right.
Interrupted only by the single by Von Hayes. You know, one thing this season has started to do in baseball's haste to put together the integrity of the 162-game schedule, they have put together a weird schedule. Consider Pittsburgh, that played at home last Wednesday, flew to St. Louis to play Thursday, flew to Chicago to play Friday, flew back to St. Louis to play Monday, and flew to San Francisco to play Tuesday. One suggests that the integrity of the season is nice. The integrity of sending out very tired ball players for games is another matter.
That's real tough. Plus the fact, swung on and missed. Oh, gosh, it's hot. Charlton, who walked 3, getting himself in trouble, keeps piling up the strikeouts. A chance to strike the side out as Dalton goes down swinging. There you see the relievers for the Reds. 3 that we've talked about earlier.
Norm Charlton struck out 30% of the hitters he faced last year. 30%.
That's what you want coming out of the pen.
Amen.
Charlie Hayes, 2 down, the base is empty, 12-4 lead, bottom of the 8th inning. Charlton came on for Mailer, who's got a chance to pick up his first win since July 15 last year for Mailer. Long time between wins. Look at that. Hello. Struck the side out.
In second, nobody out.
And Cincinnati just keeps it going. Ripped into the left field corner. It's a fair ball. Sabo's on his way to second base. Kruk's throw will not be in time. And it's a double and the 16th hit for the Cincinnati Reds as Chris Sabo has picked up his 3rd hit of the game. 3 hits, a double, 2 singles, 2 walks, 3 runs scored for Sabo tonight.
That ties the Reds' high output for the season in hits with 16. If they get another run, they will tie their high output there of 13. Both the 13 runs and the 16 hits accomplished against Atlanta April 15th, tax day.
Here's Hatcher. Off the handle. Holds the runner. Makes the play to first. Staying at second base is Sabo as Billy Hatcher grounds out.
By the way, this is yet another of the guys on the bubble for Philadelphia. The 4 bubble pitchers are Ackerfelds, Froworth, McElroy, and the youngster that's just come on. He is Brad Moore, 25 years old from Loveland, Colorado. Signed as an amateur free agent by this club in 1986.
There you see the right-hander working here with 1 down, top of the 9th inning, and a 12-4 lead. Barry Larkin hitting .451 towards short. Thon will get him. Sabo moves over to third base. There are 2 down.
And Benzinger with yet another chance to drive in a run.
The numbers for the pitchers tonight, not good. McElroy went 2 innings, 4 earned runs and 5 hits, a couple of walks and a strikeout. But the starter, Bruce Ruffin, is still the pitcher of record, giving up the 7 runs, 4 earned on 8 hits over 4 1/3. 2 down. Sabo's at third base. Benzinger trying to put together yet another RBI hit right here. 3 RBIs already in this game.
Brad Moore's pitched in the minor leagues of the Phillies system for 4 years.
Good fastball, good movement on that pitch. 0-2.
He's made 196 minor league appearances, 1 start. In his pro career, 1 start, and that was last year at Scranton.
You might say he's been labeled. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's Sabo at third base. Benzinger with the 2 singles and a double has raised his average from 325 to 372 here tonight. And it's stopped by Hayes. Going to rob him of a hit. He makes the play. 12-4 as Philadelphia comes up in the bottom half of the 9th inning. The big red machine at it here tonight. 16-hit attack for him as they pour it on. Want to remind you, coming up, baseball tonight, Bill Robinson will be joining John Saunders. Bring you up to date all the scores and highlights. Peter Gammon's Diamond Notes, all right here on ESPN. Then Sports Center. The Patrick boys will be there. National Hockey League playoffs continuing along the way. NBA playoffs coming up. They'll have all the stories on Sports Center. It's all coming up right here on ESPN.
And this is 27-year-old flame-throwing Randy Myers, acquired from the Mets in the exchange of left-handed relievers John Franco going to New York. Myers, one of those unusual type of bullpen pitchers. Gary Thorne knows more about Randy Myers.
Randy's off the wall. And it's taken for a strike, but what a wonderful guy. He had to be left-handed. Here's Carmelo Martinez, who's up as the pinch hitter. Martinez batting for the pitcher Moore to work that 1 inning, giving up a hit. Myers can fire. He's just pure heat out there.
This is a guy who was an avid reader of Soldier of Fortune, and one of his major regrets was he wasn't born soon enough to serve in Vietnam.
I'll tell you something, a lot of that is for show. 1-2 is taken inside. Randy Myers does a lot of that to attract attention. When he was playing with the Mets, it's tough to get attention in New York with everything that goes on around the city. So in order to make the paper, you got to be a little bit better. So he would do that sort of thing, including wearing fatigues in the clubhouse, working out with weights after he pitched and all that kind of stuff.
In fact, he was so unhappy when he got the news of being dealt away from New York. The Mets couldn't find him. He just went to the gym and started throwing weights around.
Yeah. And he's a great guy to have around the clubhouse. He'll keep you alive. Here's the 3-2. Carmelo Martinez is on with a walk. And the fans who are left, little Bronx cheer here. Their Phillies getting beat up tonight. But the leadoff man is on in the bottom of the 9th inning. Martinez, the pinch hitter. A lot of folks not here who were here. There will not be a big deluge of traffic leaving Veterans Stadium here tonight. They've already gone. Lenny Dykstra, the leadoff batter, chance to keep his 4-game hit streak alive here in his final at-bat. Batting .372, fouls it back. Great job by Norm Charlton, who came on in relief. 3 innings. No runs and just 1 hit, and he struck out 7, walking 3.
Well, last year, Norm Charlton had the most strikeouts by a reliever in a National League game. He struck out 10 in 4 1/3 innings against the Giants. So coming in and blowing smoke past people is not unusual for Norm Charlton.
He did it again. Let's see if you add the 3 innings that he's pitched. He's pitched 10 innings on the season. And his strikeout total is already up to 17.
Holy cow.
17 strikeouts in 10 innings.
That'll get you there. And now realize he's considered the 3rd best strikeout pitcher in their bullpen behind Myers and Dibble.
May want a readjustment of those figures.
This is going to be no fun. But see, here's where Pinella's strategy of playing pressure baseball. Get ahead, turn the ball over to the bullpen, and let them just fire. Bring Charlton, bring Dibble, bring Myers, and say goodnight.
Foul back by Dykstra. 1-2, nobody out, runner at first here in the bottom of the 9th.
You know, if Danny Jackson and Jose Rio are well, this is no fluke, this team. They have tremendous offensive players, and if Jackson and Rio are even near healthy again, this is a team to reckon with.
1-2 delivered to Dykstra. He got him. Lenny Dykstra goes down swinging against his former teammate, Randy Myers. One away.
You were talking earlier about Lou Piniella lamenting the fact that his starters haven't gotten enough work, as the 7th straight strikeout recorded by the Cincinnati bullpen is Dykstra. They threw in an exhibition game. Piniella threw Danny Jackson and Ron Robinson just to get him some work against Nashville.
Ron Robinson is a real question mark. Trade talks regarding Robinson. There isn't any question that they're trying to work some kind of deal.
Well, that's one of the great nickname players in baseball. You got to love a guy nicknamed True Creature. and now he's considered the 3rd from the top in wackiness in their bullpen, and his nickname's True Creature.
Oh, gosh. That's what happens when you have a winner, though. Those are the kind of things that seem to come out of winning teams. It builds a sort of chemistry and gives you a few smiles. There aren't many tonight for Tommy Herr. 12-4, the Phillies trailing.
You get a feeling that if this continues, there could be one funny book come out of this season.
The Nasty Boys. Randy Myers, I all but accosted him in the clubhouse before the game because I knew after seeing that in the paper that those 3 out of the bullpen are nicknamed the Nasty Boys. He had to be the one to do that. And he reluctantly admitted that he kept calling them the 3 relievers the Nasty Boys long enough until somebody in Cincinnati printed it. Now it's stuck. 2-1 the count. Herr to right field on that one. Neal moving on. 2 down. This ball game is almost over. 2 away, bottom of the 9th inning. The Reds leading it by a score of 12-4. Cincinnati will improve their mark to 10-2. They will end the Philadelphia 4-game win streak. Phillies are going to drop to 8-7. Splitting the series 1-1 here. Philadelphia, the only team that they had a better than 500 mark against last season was Cincinnati. They beat the Reds 8 out of the 12. And so the Reds like to get some of that back this season. And they're doing it here tonight with that 12-4 lead.
Well, they caught the Reds in the middle of the summer when the Reds were all sitting in whirlpools.
Not the start of this season. 2-0 the count. Lou Piniella's ball club exploding here as he wanted them to, giving Naylor his first victory of the season. Ruffin will take the loss. He'll be 1-2. Naylor will be 1-0. It's not obviously a save situation for Myers.
First win for Naylor since July 15th of last year.
July 15th of last year. Naylor went 5+, 4 runs, 5 hits. Juan Hayes waiting with 2 down. Takes Myers. Myers just wants to get this thing over with and is mad at himself for giving up the second walk of the inning. It's tough for a reliever. Concentration's not that great when you come out there and it's a 12-4 game and all you're trying to do is bury strikes in there. You've got to bear down, get the final out of the game. 2 on, 2 away.
You know, in the National League, there are some really oddball relief pitchers. And Mitch Williams is over here. Randy Myers, Rob Dibble. Let us not forget the now injured Jay Howell of the brain-dead Heavers in Los Angeles.
Gotta love it. You gotta have a special breed out of that pen. Baseball tonight will be along. Once the final out's made here, bring you up to date on what's going on in the games elsewhere. Right here on ESPN, then Sports Center will join you for all the sports news. Gary Thorne and Norm Hitzkus here. Delighted you could join us. We will be going out to San Francisco for the Friday night late game this week. Ricky Jordan, the big cut.
One gets the feeling we better save a bunch of our notes on Cincinnati. Get a feeling maybe seeing the Reds a few times on ESPN this year.
Probably at the top of the pile. 1 ball, 2 strike count, 2 on here. Myers trying to get it over. This is down low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Big night tonight. Todd Benzinger, 3 RBIs. Mariano Duncan with a 3-run homer. Went 3 for 5 in the game. There's the senior Griffey. Swung on and pelted down the left field line. Curving foul off the facade.
Well, you know, one other thing about the Reds, as Kenny Fouts, our director, delivers us the shot of Ken Griffey Sr., this is a club with a good bench. Jeff Reed's a good, decent catcher. absence of Davis, that's a pretty good, decent, versatile bench.
It's very deep.
Yes.
Very deep bench. Myers with 2 down in the 2-2, and he goes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Bottom of the 9th inning. 2 away. Martinez at second, Vaughn Hayes at first. Myers working against Ricky Jordan. 3-2. Runners go. Do it again. Cincinnati Reds off tomorrow. They go to Riverfront, 5-game homestand. Montreal will be the opponent. Tom Browning and Zane Smith. Cincinnati on Friday as they head back home. Bases are loaded. Myers just doesn't want to leave here.
Yeah.
Randy Myers has walked the bases loaded here for John Kruk. Sunday night on ESPN, All-Star second baseman Ryan Sandberg and the Cubs against Los Angeles Dodgers, who look mighty tough. You will see that ball game both in Chicago and in Los Angeles. You will see your clubs right here on ESPN Sunday night starting 8 o'clock Eastern. Williams back out to have a visit here with Myers. 3 walks and a strikeout. Tommy Herr's fly ball out here in the 9th inning. He's prolonging the agony on us right now. And Hallion's on his way out.
In the midst of a stretch in which they played 33 straight games against the East.
Ruck takes the strike. That is a lot of games. Eastern Division, the Mets will be included as part of that. They'll go home, then back on the road to New York after that homestand. Myers, breaking ball misses, 1-1.
Counting tonight's game and the appearance of Charlton and Myers, Reds relievers this year now have pitched 46 innings and struck out 57 men.
May get another one.
Maybe 58 in 46 innings.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Kruk. Bases loaded, 2 down.
Think, Gary, of the number of times in a season where you say, oh, we need a relief pitcher to strike somebody out here.
They've got it.
They've got it. They got a whole bunch of them.
1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
A bit of an overthrow there.
The Cincinnati bullpen, their combined ERA coming into tonight's game, and it's not going to be hurt tonight, is 1.5.
Yeah.
49 strikeouts for the bullpen in 42 innings pitched. 2-2. Kruk gets a base hit. Carmelo Martinez will score. Vaughn Hayes coming to the plate. He'll score. So Kruk delivers a 2 RBI single here in the bottom of the 9th inning, but it's still a 12-6 Cincinnati lead. They're playing it out to the end.
Kruk hangs in well against the tough lefty. Takes the outside fastball the other way.
Well, Myers struggling here to get the final out. Dickie Thawne up now.
And nobody in the Cincinnati bullpen. Well, nobody throwing in the Cincinnati bullpen. A whole bunch of guys sitting down there talking.
Kruk with the team leading. 13 runs batted in for the Phillies. Foul back by Thawne. 1 ball, 1 strike. Myers will really hate this because in a game where the team's already won, his ERA is going to be hurt, and all he had to do was come on and throw strikes. Instead, he walks the bases loaded. Gives up a couple of runs. Bounced it. 2-1.
Phillies still need 3 more men on base before the tying run in this game hits.
Right field. O'Neill. Tough play, and he's not going to get it. It's a fair ball. Ground rule double. So Dickie Thorne delivers his second hit. He will pick up the RBI as Jordan scores. Kruk has to stop at third on the ground rule double, and it's 12-7.
Phillies still need 2 more men on base before the tying run hits.
Well, these two teams came in very offensive-minded, and they've continued it in this game.
O'Neill just shies from this ball. He sees the wall, pulls the glove back, and the ball hits right at his feet, basically. If he'd have just kept the glove extended, he makes the catch.
Yeah. It's scary over there when you go in full tilt. You've got no room to stop in foul territory. As Darren Dalton stands in, he's going to try and keep it going. Myers misses with it. 2 balls and no strikes. And, you know, Lou Piniella is not real happy about having to get somebody else in the pen. There's Dibble.
And you can bet that if Myers doesn't get Dalton, it'll be Dibble to pitch to Hayes, because Lou doesn't want to fiddle with this game.
High strike, 2-1.
And see, if Myers doesn't get Dalton, then the on-deck hitter becomes the tying run. You want to allow Dibble some room in a game if you have to bring them in to make a mistake.
Yeah. Well, Myers is right down to that final strike chance again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. This is the 8th man up in the bottom of the 9th inning. Philadelphia's pushed across 3 runs. All 3 walks have scored. And they have Kruk and Thorne on. And it's a full count again, 3-2.
Try to overthrow the ball again. He's just trying to horse it up there instead of just using his natural stuff. I think what you're seeing is a pitcher annoyed with himself, as you were saying.
Very much. 3-2. Got him swinging, and that's it. Myers gets the strikeout to end the game. Philadelphia makes the gallant effort. They get 3 runs here in the bottom of the 9th inning, but well short of what they needed, as it's a 12-7 Cincinnati win.
Well, the reports you've been hearing about Cincinnati are true. This is an offensive machine. High speed, lots of guys swinging the bat very, very well right now.
All right, that's going to do it for Norm Heskis. This is Gary Thorne. Great to have you with us. Our final, Cincinnati wins at 12-7. Now back to John Saunders.
Thanks a lot, Gary and Norm. The Nasty Boys looking very nasty, but not in the way they like to talk about it. But they do get the victory. 12-7 is the final. And hello again, everyone, and welcome to ESPN's Baseball Tonight. I'm John Saunders. Tonight, the complete American and National League schedules, Peter Gammon's Diamond Notes, a look at the battle of the box score, and Bill Robinson and I will break down tonight's highlights as well as hits